Feel free to grab chairs and put them over here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We should.
Fill up as much as you need.
Yeah, just add, you can just pull out chairs and.
And all in front of the veto table.
How did you get this there for?
I think it's because of the club. So I think it's gonna be like community concern. We're gonna get started. So?
Feel free to take a chair down and send.
What?
Down.
Oh, so we'll go ahead.
Should we?
Hi,
move
guys,
this-
we're gonna,
Should we move this back?
can you guys hear me okay? Yeah.
Back?
We're gonna go ahead and get started here. So, what do you have for time? 7 o'clock, get started? All right, we're gonna start off here with the reading of the rules of speaking. John?
Sure. Aloha. Aloha, this is your community public forum. Your input and cooperation are really appreciated. The ʻEwa Neighborhood Board is an advisory board, and we provide fairness, integrity, and collaboration to all to increase and ensure effective citizen participation in the decisions of government. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to raise their hand, and when recognized by the chair, to address comments to the chair. Speakers are encouraged to keep their comments under 2 minutes and 1 minute turn per person, one turn per person. Those giving reports are urged to keep their reports less than 2 minutes and presentations under 10 minutes. Please silence all electronic devices. Oh, should I read video conference? Okay, yeah, video teleconference. The board will be making a good faith effort to provide the public with the opportunity to observe the meeting as it happens and an opportunity to provide oral testimony without a physical presence in the physical meeting room. Please ensure that your computer or phone is muted unless you are speaking. Note, the board may take action on any agenda item as required by the state sunshine law, HRS 92. Specific issues not noted on this agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda. A 2/3 vote, that means 8 members of the 11-member board, is needed to add an item to the agenda. Items may not be added if they are of major importance and will affect a significant number of people. Thank you.
Thank you, John. We're gonna go ahead and proceed with introduction of board members. So I'm Alexander Gauss, the vice chair and the current acting chair.
John Rogers, hello.
Aloha, Mitchell Tananes.
Aloha, Michael Plowman.
Aloha, Corey Rosenlee.
And then one online.
Aloha, Zach Espino.
Okay, great. And then we do have quorum, so that's a good thing. It's been a while. All right, so we're going to start off here. The second agenda item is public safety. So we'll go ahead and go with the Honolulu Fire Department. Please, yeah, go ahead and step up to the mic either. You have a preference? No, doesn't matter. That one looks more official though.
Nice little podium. Hello, Dustin. Hello, I'm firefighter 1, Ranchigami. Our incident statistics for May, we had 1 structure fire, 2 nuisance fires, 1 cooking fire, 22 activated alarms with no fire. In terms of other emergencies, we had 176 medical calls, 2 motor vehicle collisions with pedestrian, 2 motor vehicle crash/collisions, and 3 hazardous materials incident. The fire safety tip for this month is hurricane season. Hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th in Hawaii. As we enter into the season, it is time to check your kit, refresh your supplies, and ensure everyone in your family knows your plan. Visit honolulu.gov/DEM to learn about the risks and hazards, how to prepare, and what to do in the event a hurricane threatens our islands. Some tips are to build a 14-day disaster supply kit to include everything your household would need to survive for 2 weeks without utilities or access to outside supplies. You should also check your insurance policies to determine what, if any, hurricane-related damage is covered by your policy. Standard homeowner and renter insurance does not cover hurricane or flood coverage. You should also get appropriate supplies to protect windows. They need to be sized for your windows well in advance of a storm. Lastly, you can sign up to get storm alerts directly to your phone at hnlalert.gov. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Any questions from the board? None? Any questions from the public? All right, moving on. We're now with the Honolulu Police Department. Thank you for your service.
Hi, good evening. Corporal Corey Makino, District 8 Community Policing Team. Online with me is also Corporal Roland Pagan. For the statistics for May 2026, motor vehicle thefts was 25 for a district. EVA had 7. Burglaries was 25 for a district, 7 in EVA. Thefts was 101 in our district. EVA had 18. Unauthorized entry to motor vehicle, the district had 19, EVA had 2. Traffic citations, speeding was 55. Moving violations was 1,710. Parking violations was 686. Total citations was 2,671. Total calls for service for the district, we had 9,497. Calls in the Eva Beach area was 2,814. To follow up on some of the questions we had last month, I know you guys were asking about the e-bike stats. Unfortunately, the stats that we provide right now, they're standardized throughout all the meetings. However, the district, we are continuously doing e-bike operations. So I was able to get the stats for e-bike operations for last month, in which a total of 20 citations was issued. And then also the issue regarding the homeless behind the West Lock community. We did informed our ATV units. So our ATV units, I was told, are making routine checks behind that area. But again, we do encourage, if you do see anything, do call us, and then we can dispatch an officer there. Other than that, any questions, comments, or concerns?
Thank you, Corporal. I am curious on the citations, like what kind of citations are those typically made up of? Or what are the most common ones?
So the most common ones would be the non-registered vehicles, no insurance, driving without a license. Unfortunately, when we look at the stats, those are all categorized together with unregistered vehicles as well. Also helmet violations, I believe, is also one of them. And regular bike safety laws. But the majority of them is the untaxed, unregistered, no insurance citations were issued.
Thank you for that. Questions from the board? Corey?
First of all, thank you for following up on those things. I do appreciate it. So I'm just curious, because this came up during the meeting last time. If the ATV police units go to an area and they see homeless that are on Navy land, what's the next step that HPD does?
I got that, Corey. Sorry, I got that, Corey. Yeah, so if they're on actually Navy land, we'll notify DOD. But again, we won't take action because it's just like someone being on private property. We don't chase anybody off of private property without the property owner being there.
If I can just follow up. Is there any follow-up where the Navy will contact HPD to suggest that they've done anything? Is there any, two-way communication?
We honestly, not really. I mean, again, it's their property and they tend to manage it how they want to manage it. If they need our assistance, they'll call us. If it's a matter of someone possibly getting arrested that's not a military member, then they'll call us to assist. But just like when we do our cleanups, we don't call them to let them know that we've done a cleanup that may affect their area later.
Any other questions from the board? Online? Any questions from the public? Or from the public online? Okay, moving on to Corporal Pagan for Have a weed and seed?
Thank you very much, Corporal Pagan, Honolulu Police Department, District 8, Weed and Seed. The only thing I did want to report was that we did have a successful Weed and Seed golf tournament in May, on May 21st. We're still tallying up the numbers, but it was very successful. Thank you for everyone that did participate or donate. We are in the second week of our culinary class at James Campbell High School. This is our 23rd year. This year, Chef Randy Bangloy from Ko'olina, Roy's Ko'olina, is teaching the class. Executive Chef Daryl Shinogi will be assisting. Due to some illness, he'll be coming in and out to help out. We currently have 15 students, and we run until July 16th. Other than that, I'm over for any comments, questions, or concerns.
Thank you, Corporal. Any questions from the board? From the public? All right, thanks again, Corporal. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. We're now moving on to board administration. I did want to make a few comments on here. So I see there's a lot of people. I think it's probably for the resident and community concerns, but I want to, so there's 6 of us up here right now, but we have a lot of vacant seats in this section. We're going to talk about those, and we might have another one vacated today. And so I just want to clarify that we're all community members. And so if you guys have like certain causes you're interested in, or you want to work for the community, you're going to have, we have quorum, so we can actually vote people in to be a part of this board. And so there's a lot of you here today. If there's 1 or 2 or more of you that are interested in joining the board and just helping us be a part of this, we're all just, there's no one has special training. We're all just community members and being a voice for our community. There's an opportunity to do that here in the next few minutes. And I would love to see some people step up and join us. So I just wanted to say that. The other thing I wanted to say is that, well, I'll get that to when we get to C, but basically I might as well just say it right now since I'm speaking, is that next month is the reconvening. So we have to vote for new chairs, a new chair, a new vice chair, and all that next month, regardless of what happens today. So my suggestion would be is that we just kick it until next month. I'm going to actually try to get our quorum lowered for next month so that we can have a better chance of ensuring that we have enough people, because we got lucky today, and with all the vacancies, it's a challenge. And so I don't know, that would be my suggestion. So I don't know if when we get to C, we can make a formal motion about it or something like that, but that'd be my suggestion. But if people feel differently, then that's fine. All right, so we're going to start though with A, and that's the 3 absences notice to board member Valerio. And so I don't think she's present, right? And so yeah, so are there any motion, is there a motion to vacate the seat? I think we have to do this process a little bit differently. Yeah, go ahead, Mitch.
I make the motion because you have to miss 3 times, and we hardly, I mean, there's 12 meetings. I mean, if we don't have a December or a, yeah, so there's 3 you miss, and you already missed 3, and we're already a tight timeline for the community. I think we should vacate that. It'll leave another, like what you said, a vacancy. So that would be 4. So that would come up probably next month. Yeah. So yeah, I make the motion for vacate that.
Yeah. Mike, did you want to say something?
I've got a question. Is there any extenuating circumstances? We've had other members in this situation where the extenuating circumstances were such that they're still here, and that's fine. Any extenuating circumstances with this particular?
I think the answer to that is no, because we received a text earlier today saying, "Oh, the meeting's today," that kind of thing. And so I think it's more just like being absent-minded. And I also want to, just because we have such a big audience today, just for helping people understand how it works too, is like, if you know, like when we miss, we usually say, "Hey, we're not going to be able to make it. That this is not happening," right? These are people just not showing up, and it's like, well, you're trying to get stuff done for the community, and when people, they go through the process, they get voted on, and then they don't even show up. It's just it's a waste of everyone's time, right? And so I would second that. Can I second the motion? Yeah, I second the motion. All right, so we're going to go ahead and call a vote. Yeah, let's just do all right, go ahead. Do your, yeah, sure. Or what, a voice like, so against it? So all in favor, say aye.
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 Any, any, not abstention, any noes? Any abstentions? Okay, then yeah, the seat is vacated. Okay, so now we have 4 seats available. All right, so filling the vacancy, we're not going to fill the 4th one today, as Mitch said, but there are 3 at-large seats available. So if there's anyone from the community that wants to is interested in serving on the board, I'd ask that you step up to the microphone, tell your name and give us a little bit of information on you and why you'd like to be on the board. Do we have anyone from the community that wants to step up? Yeah.
Might as well, right? Hey, I'm Erin Weiss. I've lived here in Eva for 4 years now. I spent 20 years in the Air Force prior to that as an intel analyst. I now work out at Fort Shafter, C2F. It's fun, but my heart is here in this community. We are not leaving. We actually just moved my parents out to Island from, they lived in Iowa prior to that. We've moved them to Island. We're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. We're really interested and invested in this community.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So, yeah, so we had a question right here. Yeah, go ahead and stand up, say your name and ask a question. Yeah, I know you're on the spotlight. No, please, because there's people online watching as well, so, and on TV. You're on TV.
Good evening. My name is Hani Mohammadi. I'm curious to know what the time constraints are on the board and what the time commitment is on the board.
That's a great question. I actually meant to say something about that when I was giving my
What's the term?
yeah, my little spiel. So it's a 2-year term, but right now next month will be the midway point. So we have 13 meetings left if we were to meet every single month. Or no, we would have 12. We'd have a full year, but it's typically 2 years. We meet once a month. It's 2.5 to 3 hours usually. And then your involvement and what you do outside of it is really dependent on individuals, right? I mean, I would love to say everyone is super active outside the meetings, but that's not the reality. And I mean, we all have full-time jobs, or most of us do. And so that's the reality, but it's not an overwhelming commitment, right? And so it's a good opportunity. This is where we can link our voices heard by, legislators and peoples within the government that actually have a salary and get paid to do this kind of thing. None of us do. There is no pay involved. It's all volunteer. And so, yeah. So does that make you want to step up?
I want to step down.
Anyone else interested and want to step up and yeah. Thank you. Go ahead. Step up to the mic, give your name, info.
Yeah, I'll throw my hat in the ring. My name is Dave Morris. I've lived in Eva for 16 years. I've been in Hawaii for 26. I'm an attorney. I focus primarily on energy and environmental issues. Before I was an attorney, I worked for Hawaiian Telecom as a product manager. And before that, I was in the Navy for 6 years active duty. So I've kind of done a little bit of a lot of things. So that's
Great. Thank you so much. David, you said, or Dave?
David Morris.
David Morris. Okay, thank you. And
Come on, we got one more seat. Everybody raise their hand. Come on, let's go. So we're going to 25, 35.
Shane, did you have comments?
No, I might as well be on the board since I'm coming every week or every month anyway.
Yes.
My name is Shane Greenland, principal at Lima Intermediate School. Been in our community 17 years now. Been an administrator at Campbell. Was principal at Eva Beach Elementary. Don't plan on going anywhere. Very passionate about our community, mostly about our kids, but we also serve many families. As schools, we don't enroll students, we enroll families, and we really trying to work at changing the culture. So if we can use an avenue like the neighborhood board to make our community better, might as well give it a voice, but it's still got to come back down to the people. So I'm actually very impressed the amount of people that showed up tonight for whatever cause it is, the people have to be able to make the decisions in our community and really make our community better. So thank you. And hopefully it could be an opportunity. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Shane. Anyone else? All right. So just to clarify how it is, we have to nominate them individually and then vote. So I'll go ahead and I'll nominate Aaron, I'm sorry. That would be important. Sorry, Aaron. I'll get your name right next time.
White.
Aaron White. I nominate Aaron White.
Second.
Weiss.
Second.
Second. Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's everybody, so I'm not going to continue with the vote. You want, we gonna get another nomination?
I will nominate David Morris to be on the board. Do I have a second?
Second. Right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Not, so that's approved. And then on to the next one.
Shane Greenland.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll take, maybe on my way out, I'll grab. Ugh.
Okay, how we can hear you. All right. So we're going to call. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to call recess. You guys are going to get sworn in and then you're going to come up and sit here right now with us. Okay. So we're going to take a 10-minute break and then we'll reconvene.
Come on, baby, let's go.
Aaron, I'm Mike. Mike. Steve. Thanks for stepping up.
No.
Karen Johnson. You were terrific, man. No. Yeah. Our kids there. I think that probably don't even tell.
You need another table?
Mike, I can slide over.
Sit down.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading about it.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started again. I'm sorry, we're just trying to move it swiftly, so we're not all out of here by 11 p.m. All right, so you got board members, you guys heard my comments about next week having to revote anyway. If we want to do that, we need a motion, but if it's open for conversation as well, so.
I will motion that we move the election of officers to next week to next month to meet the new annual requirement.
Second.
Got a second from Plowman? Any
Alex,
dis-
question.
Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
You said something quickly about changing the rules for quorum. I didn't understand what you meant by that.
Yeah, so, well, this is something that I was just made aware of at this meeting, that if quorum is a constant problem, or you had a lot of vacant seats, that you can actually look to reduce quorum. But we just brought in 3 more new people, so I don't think it's going to be necessary. Yeah, I just learned about it too, so yeah. But it's circumstances that aren't typical, right? And so I guess you have to make an argument for it and things like that. And yeah, not an easy lift, but I think we can avoid that entirely now. So that's great. Go ahead,
You
Corey.
need quorum with the current quorum in order to change the rules to have a lower quorum.
So a couple of things. So one is there's actually an effort that my understanding is to reduce number of board members to 9 across Oahu. Correct me if I'm wrong, Melissa. But that's still being debated. So just something for reference, Corey, just because I think it's relevant to the conversation. The thing is that, so we have a 13-member board. So to have quorum, we need 6 people. And so my understanding, I just learned about this, is that I don't know how low you can get it. I just know that there's a way that you can lower it based on if you have, lack of seats and things like that. I see Senator Vale is up the mic. Go ahead.
Point of order. I just like explain to you guys, we've been asking this board and other boards to support the fact that this board is too big. You guys want to lessen the members now. You guys going to eliminate people that the community voted in. We asked you guys numerous times that you guys need to split up this district. Ho'opili is a growing district. Gentry is not being representative. Renton Road is not being represented. A lot of the community is not being represented here. Is because of how is being set up. So instead of you guys just going 9, you guys should make a resolution and recommend that the mayor give another board to Ho'opili, which is Eva Beach. But you guys gotta understand, how much Ho'opili guys stay here right now? 1, 2. See what I'm saying? So if they would have representation in their community, maybe Hanong Uli Uli Middle, they would have better representation.
Yep.
Right now they're not. So
Yep.
I recommend that in the beginning, I told even our board member Mitchell to ask the mayor to make another neighborhood board, because you guys gonna lessen this one. That means a few of these guys are not gonna be here for the next go around.
Yeah. Thank you, Senator. I actually think that's a really good idea as well. So we'll follow up on that and see what we can get done. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Alex, I'm still,
Yeah,
is
go
it
on.
either from Melissa? So the question, Melissa, is do you need the current quorum to change the rules in order to lower the quorum?
I think that is a decision made at the neighborhood commission level. It's not the board itself.
Okay, that answers it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Did we vote on that? I think we have to vote. Let's do one by one just because we're on that one. That we have new people. So, John Clark, or who calls him out? You do.
Roll call.
Roll call.
So I can. Member Espino,
Abstain.
Vice Chair Gauss,
Aye.
Member Gorman Chang is not here. Member Plowman. Thank you. Yes, to move the election to July. Member Rogers.
Aye.
Thank you. Member Rosenly.
Aye.
Thank you. Member Tenanis. Thank you. Member Valerio is not here. Member Morris.
Aye.
Member Greenland and Member Weiss. Thank you.
8 ayes, 0 noes, 1 abstain. Motion adopted, Chair.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, on to D, which is the approval of the regular meeting minutes. So this is actually for the February meeting because the March and April meetings were canceled and then we didn't have a quorum. So approval of the regular meeting minutes. If there aren't any edits or requests to change, I think we can just go ahead and approve them. Is that correct? No amendments or edits or comments? Then we'll go ahead and accept those. And the same for the approval of the memorandum of record for the last meeting when there was no quorum. Any changes or edits or anything? If not, okay, we'll go ahead and approve them. All right. So moving on to presentations. So we're going to start here with the Prince Kuhio Gateway Plaza project. Yep. See, please go, once you're ready, you can go ahead and step up to the podium. That'd be great. Thank you.
So aloha, I have a presentation that we're showing up there. My name is Shane Pale. I serve as community engagement consultant for Kalaniana Oli Development. I'm here tonight on behalf of our owner and president, Patty Ann Tankayo, who is also with us tonight. We are here because we believe this community deserves to hear directly about this project, what it is, why it exists, and what it means for Ewa and for the Hawaiian people. Thank you for having us. To understand this project, why this project exists, you first have to understand what happened to this land and to our people. Next slide. In 1893, the Hawaiian monarchy was illegally overthrown. 2 million acres of Hawaiian lands, crown lands, government lands, lands that had sustained a nation for centuries were seized. Hawaiians lost not just their land, they lost their nation, their political power, their human right to self-determination had been violated. The land you are sitting on tonight was once Hawaiian land. Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalaniana Ole understood that to survive as a people, Hawaiians needed land back, not programs, not promises, but aina. From 1920 to 1921, he fought for a law that would return it. On July 9, 1921, the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act was signed into law. 200,000 acres was set aside for Native Hawaiian homesteading. This was a federal obligation established by the United States Congress, owed to the Hawaiian people. But the promise was compromised from the start. The lands were remote, rocky, and far from infrastructure. Basically, land that the sugar planters did not want is what Hawaiians got. In the first 38 years, only 1,700 homesteaders were awarded. Across an entire century, only 10,000 Hawaiian families have been served or got leases. Then in 1959, Hawaii became a state. As a condition of statehood, the federal government transferred that legal trust obligation to the state of Hawaii. The state accepted it. DHHL exists because of this obligation, not as a government favor, but as a legal and moral trust owed to the Hawaiian people. Prince Kuhio fought for 200,000 acres. 100 years later, 10,000 families served and 29,000 still waiting on the list. So where does that leave us today? The Hawaiian Homes Commission Act promised land. The wait list tells the real story. Today, more than 29,000 Native Hawaiian beneficiaries are on the DHHL wait list. Multiply that by an average household of 4. That is over 116,000 Hawaiians directly affected, waiting for land that is legally, morally, and historically owed to them. The estimated cost to clear the wait list entirely is estimated at $8 billion. In 2022, the state legislature passed Act 279, the Wait List Reduction Act, the largest single investment in Hawaiian homesteading in the history of the state. $600 million, historic, meaningful, and not enough. DHHL has already stated that it needs an additional $871 million just for phase 2 of its current development pipeline. The gap remains in the billions. 29,000 Hawaiian families still waiting. Patty Ann Tankau is one of them. and she decided to do something about it. This is her family. This photograph was taken in the late 1950s at Kalani Anaole Hall in Kalama'ula on Molokai. These are Hawaiian homesteaders, people who waited, who showed up, who held on to the promise of the Hawaiian Homelands Commission Act with everything they had. Patty Ann is a Native Hawaiian beneficiary. She knows what this wait costs because she has lived it. She is a granddaughter who grew up watching her family hold on to a promise that was never fully kept for many Hawaiians. She brings 30 years of affordable housing development experience, and she is one of the only Native Hawaiian wahine doing work at this scale in Hawaii today. She brought both those things to this project, her kuleana as a beneficiary and 30 years of experience as a developer. She did not come to this as an outsider seeking opportunity. She came as a granddaughter, as a beneficiary, as a Hawaiian woman who decided that was going to change. So what is she proposing? In concept, the Prince Kuio Gateway is a retail and commercial center at the intersection of Fort Weaver Road and Old Fort Weaver Road, right here in Ewa Beach, privately funded, commercially self-sustaining, and structured from the ground up to give back to the Lahui. The development includes retail shops, dining, daily needs, and community service for the Ewa and Ho'opili communities, dedicated spaces and funding specifically for Native Hawaiian entrepreneurs, and built into the project from day one is 60 to 80 affordable housing units designated for Native Hawaiian kupuna. It costs the state nothing. It costs the Department of Hawaiian Homelands nothing. The 22.7 acres designated for this project have been accepted by DHHL. When the lease concludes, all improvements on that land, a fully built, fully operational commercial center are gifted back to DHHL at no cost. This has never been done before in Hawaii, a development that gives everything back. Let me show you exactly where this project sits in Ewa. Okay, this is a map right here at Fort Weaver Road and Old Fort Weaver Road. The red arrow marks exactly where a gateway will be built. The yellow dotted boundary shows the trade area this project will serve. Ewa Beach, Ho'opili, Ocean Point, Ewa Gentry, and the broader Central Oahu corridor. Tens of thousands of families. The red boxes show the existing retail centers in the area. You can see the gap. There is currently nothing comparable serving the Ho'opili corridor and the northern Ewa communities that are growing swiftly and fast. This project fills that gap right here on this island for these families. And we're building it right in the right way through every required process, openly and on the record. This project is not trying to move around the system. It is moving through it deliberately, transparently, and on the record. Projects like the Prince Kuio Gateway are explicitly authorized under the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. Prince Kuio built this into the law himself, so when commerce happened on Hawaiian land, Hawaiians would benefit. We're honoring his intent every step of the way. Let me walk you through where we are. DHL Commission consultation is complete. We have appeared before and informed the Hawaiian Homes Commission. That is a documented public process. We're currently in the chapter 343 environmental assessment process. Within the environmental assessment, the environmental review is underway. Phase 1 is complete. Phase 2 soil and underground sampling is currently in process. Traffic and infrastructure are also being studied as part of the environmental assessment. Okay. To give you a sense of the scope of work currently in process, we have 13 separate studies and assessments underway right now. Cultural impact, archaeological survey, traffic, drainage, geotechnical, environmental, botanical, fauna, air quality, noise, and socioeconomic analyses. This is a thorough and comprehensive process. I want to be direct with the board at this juncture. Until the draft EA is published, we are not in a position to speak to specific environmental and traffic findings. We want to give this community accurate information, and that means waiting until the findings are complete. When the draft environmental assessment is published, those findings will be fully available, and the community will have 30 days to review and comment on everything. That is the appropriate forum and we're committed to it. The next step after the EA is the public comment period, open to every person in this room. And looking further ahead, project completion is projected for 2030. Now, let me tell you what this project could potentially deliver for this community. Yeah. Every year this center operates, ground lease rent and 50% of net commercial profits go directly back to the Hawaiian Homelands Trust Corpus. And when the lease ends, all improvements on the 22.7 acres are gifted to DHL at no cost. That has never been done before in Hawaii. This project creates over 200 construction jobs and approximately 650 permanent jobs right here in Ewa. Local employment that carries income in this community and reduces the commute burden that Ewa families carry every single day. 60 to 80 affordable housing units are designed specifically for Native Hawaiian kupuna elders who deserve to age safely, close to their ohana, close to the land they love. The Kanaka Shark Tank Fund, $100,000 dedicated to Native Hawaiian entrepreneurs, subsidized retail spaces for local startups, and paid internships for Native Hawaiian students in engineering, energy, law, finance, and community development. And revenue from this project may benefit Hawaiian homestead organizations, direct support for cultural, community, and educational programs. And we do not stand alone. This project has the support of the Hawaiian homestead communities it is built to serve, including members who are here with us tonight. Prince Kuiu Gateway has earned the support of Hawaiian homestead communities it is built to serve. Malu'ohai, Kaupea, Kanehili, and Ka'uluokahai, as well as the Kapolei Homestead Enterprise Corporation. This project also has support of Hawaii's labor community, the Teamsters, IBEW, the United Roofers, IATSE Local 655, SAG-AFTRA, the Laborers Union, and the Hawaii Building and Trades Council have all signaled their support for what this project means for local workers and families. These are not outside voices. These are community people, many who live in Ewa, standing behind a project that is built for them. Mahalo. We came here tonight in good faith and we leave in the same way. Mahalo for your time tonight and for this opportunity. We came because we believe in this community deserves accurate information about this project. We have made a good faith effort to provide that tonight, honestly, directly, and on the record. We're following every required process. We're committed to transparency. And when the draft EA is published, we encourage every person in this room to participate in the public comment period. Your voice belongs on that record. Prince Kuiu Gateway is a development that gives everything back, profits shared with the Lahui, housing for our kupuna, opportunity for our people, and at the end, the land itself. I would like to now introduce Patty Ann Kyle, who's here. She's the owner and president of Kalanianoli Development, and Sun Ik Ham, also of Kalanianoli Development, serving as project architect. Mahalo nui.
Mahalo for the presentation. Appreciate it. You might want to stay up there because I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions. So we'll start first with questions from the board. Mike Plowman.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, were you gonna?
This Patty.
Yeah. Please. Yeah.
So come Patty. This is Patty Ann Kyle. She's the owner and the president of Kalanianoli Development. And this is Sun Ik Ham, who is the project architect. So those kinds of questions will be directed to them.
Thank you both.
Aloha.
Feel free to say some words.
Thank you very much for inviting us here tonight to share our project. This is the first time it's ever been done. This is the first step to help to rebuild our Lahui. So I'm open to any questions that you have tonight.
Thank you for that. Board member Plowman.
Thanks. Mike Plowman, Ewa Beach resident as well. I'm a little confused. I thought I read the draft EA.
Nope.
Okay. I thought it was published in the environmental notice, or it was in, I'm sorry. I thought I saw the draft EA of this exact thing. Maybe I just saw presentation notes. But I am a little confused on how this is getting paid for initially? The land transfer, who is making this gift? Thank you.
We are. I am, and my partner, Sunningham and Christian. Hunter.
Are you the current landowners? Is that,
No,
there's going to be a purchase? And
yes,
then a
I
gift?
have a purchase of sale agreement.
Okay, thank you very much.
Board Member Rogers.
Hi, I'm John Rogers. I live in West Lock Fairway. So I moved in when the slaughterhouse was still there. And, you know, we've been waiting for 30 years now to see that land be developed. So I'm happy with this. My concern is, and I just ask because I know you really can't speak of it yet, is that the traffic situation. Fort Weaver, you see it in the afternoon, you see it in the morning. Normally, the morning it's going towards H1 and traffic coming into Eva Beach. And Old Fort Weaver Road is totally undeveloped. It's the way it was 100 years ago, essentially. So my hope is that you're going to make that road be able to handle more traffic and pedestrians. I also ask, pedestrian and bicycles, facilities be present everywhere, and because that's going to work for us, because we do have Leeward bikeways right down the street from there, and in Westlock we have wide paths, and along Fort Weaver there's shared use paths. So having it be able to bicycles to be able to enter there and go there without driving a car that from the neighborhood, that would really make it better for all of us, and so that's really important. And I had one more thing. Oh, you didn't speak of the type of shops or stores or things that are going to be in the development. Is that something that is known now, or is that still something that's coming in the future?
We don't have it secured yet, so we're not able to do
To even talk.
Going through this entitlement process.
If you can speak into the mic, if you
We are going through this entitlement process. It hasn't completed yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess what I have to say is this is the first time we've ever had someone come to our board like before they're even ready, but they just want to say, hey, we're thinking about this, we're doing this, it's going to happen. But that's appreciated. That's truly appreciated. Thank you.
So I just wanted to follow up on John Rogers' question about the infrastructure, the road infrastructure, and if that is being considered as this development moves forward.
It is being considered, but this is a part of this. There's a big, more larger development going on around our side. As you know, Ho'opili, the master plan, there's a master plan. So there's only so much you can do. But we are in communication with the Ho'opili developers to make sure that our development is in line with their master plan. So in the future, if the road has to, if you have to expand the road or you have to create the bike lanes and whatever, you will be able to accommodate those, the needs of the community. So we are working very closely with the development team of Ho'opili.
Thank you. Any more questions from the board? Corey?
Okay, so let me ask this question. As I understand it, the developer is gifting this land in return for a lease. And in return for that, they don't have to follow the same county guidelines when it comes to the zoning laws. Okay, are there certain zoning laws that can be not done currently that will be allowed under this new agreement? And I want to know what those county laws, what are the zoning requirements that will change with this agreement?
Can't hear anything.
Hey, I second that. I can't hear anything. Audio's bad.
Mute yourself because we can hear you when you're speaking. Thank you.
Basically, right now, it's agricultural land as is zoned, right?
Agriculture, part of it is agricultural, part of it is residential,
Okay.
R5.
And so this agreement would allow your company to develop it for commercial and residential purposes.
That's correct.
Okay. Are there any environmental codes, building codes, or anything else that would change under this agreement?
Not that I know of.
So is the only motivation for your company to be able to do this is allow them to put in a commercial zoning for this area? Okay, then what's the benefit for the company then? Yeah.
Please speak into the mic.
We just explained to you what the benefit is,
That's the benefit for the Hawaiian community.
which is me.
Okay, and so, but I'm trying to understand, okay? Call me a little hesitant to believe they're doing this out of the goodness of their own heart.
Well, Hawaiian culture says otherwise. I think if you look at the way.
In the mic, please, into the
If
mic.
you look at the way the whole project is set up, it is set up really based on the history of what happened in Hawaii. This is really another way of looking at development, particularly for the way that we can actually give back to, particularly to the Hawaiians, right? So, I think that I wish more companies would actually think about the way we're doing things and actually start to do it in the same way. I think it does, at the very end, the benefit will come right back to the community, to the Hawaiian community. And that's basically what the impetus and what it's behind us doing this project.
Additional comments, Mitch?
Let me expand.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me expand on this a little bit. Okay, so I've been doing housing for over 30 years, particularly in the Native Hawaiian community with homeless families. Okay, so the point of my career now, the only way, well, one of the only ways to help to get people into homes is economic development. It's job opportunities. So I've been, if you know me, all the Hawaiian community knows me, who I work with closely. That's my primary objective. I'm working with all the unions to have Native Hawaiians get jobs, Native Hawaiians to get trained, Native Hawaiians to have entrepreneur opportunities. That's my motive. I don't know what you can be skeptical or whatever you want to be, but that's my motive.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you for those additional comments. Board Member Hernandez.
Thank you for coming out and in this early time before the ES, but just dovetailing off what one of our board members were talking about, the traffic's going to be a big issue. Maybe another one is the floodplains, because everybody in Honolulu knows that's the low-lying area where it floods a lot. There's the fresh water stream that comes down. There's historic water stream that comes down. What else we got? I know you said something about 50% of the profits from the lease goes to, is it DHHL or is it to where?
DHHL.
Okay, similar to like Kamakana with the 50-year lease with Deep Bartolo. They get the whatever. Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Board Member. I had a question. So I know you guys can't know exactly what's going to go in there, but so you have some homes for kupuna and things like that. And I know, John, you don't know exactly, but like what kind of, do you have an idea of what kind of places you're targeting? Are like the food places? Are they small? Are they large? Do you have any on, or just for us as a community and knowing what might go in there, we'd be super curious.
Our goal is to bring the most benefit to, because the reason why we started this is to give the financial tools for the DHHL so that they can build more homes for Hawaiians. So our goal is to, bring
Whatever we want.
bring the most value to DHHL so that they can use those funds to help Hawaiians. That's our goal. So at this point, we don't know. I mean, we are obviously we are talking to different potential people who want to lease the land, but at this point, we don't have any firm information.
Thank you for that. Mitch, go ahead.
Just one more. Is anyone affiliated with the Buddhist temple going over in Honolulu? Because they got about 30 plus acres just above you guys. I just was thinking if they any affiliation that way they can work with the. We were talking about expanding the road. That was back in the day that was the only road going in and out of Eva Beach. One lane in, one lane out, goes past Dad's. Yeah.
I just wanted to say one thing, because, I can tell you that $600 million in Act 279 was really something that came all of a sudden. I think prior to that, the department itself was bringing up proposals such as gaming, which didn't go too well in the community. I think that the $8 billion, if you're looking at $8 billion to set up that 29,000 wait list, that is the issue that we're faced with, and the department as well. I think that if you look at it in the bigger picture, what we're doing right here is really trying to, it's really from the Lahui perspective. You look at self-determination, you look at the goal of any nation is economic self-sufficiency. And that's where Patty is coming from. That's where I am coming from. So I think if you look at it in those terms and you look at the history of the underfunding of DHHL has been the problem. 29,000 Hawaiian families on the wait list. That's just too much for too long. And I think that looking at different ways of even assisting the DHHL to get revenue, the 600 million was almost like a fluke because it was sudden to me, right? We did put in a bill, HB 606, 2 years ago to get another 600 million. It didn't go anywhere. Basically died at conference. They all voted yes, except one representative, I believe. But again, this is the issue as a Hawaiian Lahui that we see ourselves as. We're looking at this system that we never created. We're trying to figure out ways in which we can uplift our Hawaiian people and our Lahui. And looking at creative ways to do this is exactly what this is looking at, trying to find a way to help fund and meet the needs of the Hawaiian people. $8 billion is what we're looking at. So, just want to share that. $8 billion for the 29,000 on the wait list to clear them out and build homes for all 29,000.
Thank you for that. So just in the question of time, unless there's any more urgent questions from the board, I don't want to open it up to the community. If there are any questions from the community, please step up to the mic, say your name and state your concern.
Okay, my name is Sharon Pualani Freitas. What Patty is doing, I am one of the 30,000 on the wait list that's still waiting. I was a little girl. My grandmother used to take us down here in Eva Beach to go pick limo. I used to live on Honolulu Street before any of this houses was built. None of this stuff. I rode motorcycles, all sugarcane. One road in, one road out. I hear the question, what's the motive? How's about this little piece of land that they're trying to do something for people like me and the other 30,000 that's on that list to give us some hope? My backyard from Honolulu Street was all sugarcane. You know what they turned that into? A golf course, absolutely. I am still waiting. So Corey, you know what motivates her? When she's got to look at people like me, the same Hawaiian with all the rest of them, who's sitting there and saying, hang on, sir, it's my turn to speak. It's not, I am speaking.
No, it's all right. Go, we got it.
That's
But
right.
just
It
talk to
should
me.
be all right because he asked the question, not you, correct?
Yeah, but just for the protocol. as
For
we're
the
speaking,
protocol, I will
speak to me.
speak to you.
Thank you.
The motive is for people like me. We waiting. And if they gonna give back, because it seems to be so hard to honor what they were supposed to honor from years ago, $600 million, we'll be scraping for money. For what? She is also a beneficiary waitlister. You guys know anything about the history about Molokai and her family of the picture?
So just.
I'm going to share something
No, so
because
we're not gonna have time for that. We have a long, long meeting. Look, I really
Correct.
appreciate yours. No.
you
I'm
guys
gonna-
are
I'm gonna ask
talking
you-
about the land.
I'm gonna ask you just to hold off right now. So I love it. This is a good conversation, but this isn't the venue or the place for that right now. I think
Okay.
these are really good points. I don't think anyone here disagrees with that. I just want to point out that this is a model. So I'm not a developer. I don't know. This is a model that we're not familiar with. And this, you have to understand that this area gets a lot of developers coming in and all they do is plow through, right? So
Correct.
there's.
How many of
I'm
those
not
developers
asking for your
is
response right now.
Hawaiian beneficiary
So this,
waitlister?
my point being that this is a new concept. We're listening. We're an advisory board. We're not making any decisions. We're just listening and asking questions.
And
So
giving us the opportunity
Yeah,
to
and
share
it's great.
that
So-
you will learn
Yeah.
a little bit more, right?
So,
Right?
okay, so yes. So thank you very much. And I think we're going to move on. I appreciate the words. I think it's just a new model we're all listening to. So we appreciate the comments. Are there any other additional
Alex,
comments?
Alex, I'd like to respond.
Yeah, and I just want a reminder, everyone that comes up to speak, you're limited to 1 minute. So we gave you much more than that. And just to know, I'm not being contentious or anything like here. Just want people to be aware of that. So
Well,
Senator Favela, go
Alex,
ahead.
if I could just respond, please, for just 1 second.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Corey, let's just move on. Senator?
Yeah, Chair, I would recommend, don't do this over here. You guys have a planning and zoning, ask him to come back. Reason why this developer came here is when we had the town hall meeting, over 100% that came to the town hall meeting, over. Beside the homesteaders that's going to get benefit packages that came to support it, over 100% was a no. So they come in here to be able to go through the planning and permitting process to dot the i's and cross the t's. So I recommend for everybody to have a better dialogue and they can bring out the information of the sports center that they're going to build and the exemption that you're talking about, that they're not going to build the roads. Because they already told me at the town hall meeting, they're going to improve the intersection, but they're not going to improve Old Fort Weaver Road. Then they're going to have an egress and outgress on Fort Weaver Road, which we fought safely about not having it because of the traffic. This is the thing. You guys got to do this digitally.
Thank you.
You guys got to tell them to come back.
Thank you,
They need to come back.
So we're going to move on. I think we have another question online and we really need to move on. We have still a long.
Thank you
agenda.
for the opportunity
Thank you.
to speak.
Yep, you bet.
Can I have 10 seconds?
Okay, then we got one comment and then I'll come to you and then we're gonna have to move on. So let's go to the one comment online. Who was it? John?
Johnny Mayperry, thank you,
yeah.
Chair. So this project is to be, I signed on late, so forgive me for my tardiness. So this is better than geothermal. The question I have is how many retail space? And the last question, how much money are they gonna annually give to DHHL? Annual money to DHHL, because that's one of the problem among many. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for the question. So how many commercial spaces and how much money to DHHL is projected? I think were the questions.
I guess the two questions are related because we don't know, because we have to finish all the studies first before we can make any firm commitment to anyone who wants to lease the land. So once that happens, we got to report to DHHL and everything, all the information that she just asked will be available to the public because we will have to provide that information to DHHL and get their approval.
So currently there's no estimate on the number of commercial spaces?
I'm an architect, so I don't have the numbers with me. So
no ballpark? If not, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Okay. One more. So thank you. Last final question. Just remember the minute.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Evalani Lebon McBrayer. I'm the Vice President of Cowpale Homestead. I'm also the Shaw Sovereign Council of Hawaiian Homestead Associations, Tribal Mokopuni Council. This project today represents who we are as Kanaka. It's our sovereign right. Ike kula ika lahui. It's our right to self-determination. It's our right to cultural preservation, economic development, and homesteading. On our trust lands, it is our federal, sovereign, legal, and political right to exercise self-sustainability. And here we are today in the beginning stage, Chair, is to show you what we have to do. We are the first people here, and we are being placed out of paradise. So this project is here to come to the community. A benefit to us Kanaka is a benefit to the world. So please embrace us. We will walk as a community of Kanakas with all our people around us. And this project is what's going to take our people off the wait list and off the debt list. So please, we look forward. All of us leaders here today is here to support not just the homestead, but our sister, the Eva Beach community. Mahalo.
Thank you so much for those comments. I did just want to recognize, thank you guys for coming and presenting. I know I didn't know it was this contentious, but it's good to hear all this, and maybe this isn't the venue, but I did want to thank you again for the presentation.
Alex, could I please make a request of them? 10 seconds. No, requires no answer or dialogue.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I would greatly appreciate it if you could come back with enough time prior to the EA public comment period being open so that you could present again with the EA ready to go, but with enough time for us to make public comments.
I would, let me just follow up that, say that we have an economic development committee. You know, I would strongly, I don't even know who's on that, but whoever's running that, this would be a great thing to set up and have a specific conversation, because it obviously quickly takes over our meeting when this is supposed to be 10 minutes. So if you're going to make a comment, step up to the mic, please. Okay, we're going to move on. I'm sorry. I just don't want to go down that path.
Be aware that it was contentious and very abusive. The people that was there. If you do come, just want to make sure that there's a more aligned.
Well, okay. I mean, I think we're trying to present plenty of aloha. So again, thank you for coming. All right.
Chair,
Sorry.
Chair,
I just want to talk
Chair,
about it anymore. Let's keep going.
Chair, I was called out personally. I'd like to respond. I'll keep it
Go
quick.
ahead, Corey.
Thank you.
30
You
seconds.
totally misconstrued what I was saying. I want to make sure if we're going forward with this, it does benefit the Native Hawaiian community, that the commercial developers actually do give money to the Native Hawaiian community, and that before we do anything like this, that it does have benefits. So when we're questioning the development, is to make sure that it does maximum benefit for the Hawaiian community. So I do hope you understand those questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. All right, next presentation, if you're ready to follow that, Halekipa, the Kamalama parent groups and Lukahi teenager groups presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, the olelo. Oh, I feel the mana. If the gentleman with the hat, if I can talk with you after before you leave, the gentleman with the hat who did the presentation. Okay, my name is Garrett Gomes. I am the clinical program manager from Halekipa, and I am honored to follow that presentation. A lot of our youth need jobs. A lot of our youth don't have skills. A lot of our youth are of Polynesian background that come to Halekipa. We have been part of the community on Old Fort River Road for over 50 years. We are the open house. We help, not when people have the idea of bad kids, it's not bad kids, children who need safety. And that's what we're here for. This is one of the first presentations that we're doing, and I couldn't ask for a better one to follow. And the reason is we are mostly driven by CAMHD, which is an organization with the state of Hawaii that funds programs for children for their safety and to help them find shelter and homes, and also being able to be protected from being trafficked from individuals and organizations that are out there. In fact, one of our programs is shuttered because there wasn't enough funding to help children who are being trafficked. So I fully understand the presentation I'm following. it just so happens that it also affects the children that we are the guardians for. So I'm going to go ahead and let my therapist, who works under me, Madonna, she's going to explain the different direction that Holly Kipa is taking and the drive to help individuals become self-sufficient as well. Thank you.
Aloha, a'ihai. Thank you to the Honorable Vice Chair Alex. You're the one I was corresponding with to make sure that we got a chance for this. What Halekipa is doing now is extending its services not only to youth, but adult individuals, families, couples, and parents. This is to promote healing in the family and create healthy bonding. Halekipa is now accepting private insurance and co-pays for individuals like youth and adults, for couples and parents, group sessions, as well as for parenting sessions. And what's amazing now, currently, the sessions will take place, as mentioned, on Old Fort Weaver Road, where parking is free. There'll be designated parking. And the way to do that is we'll make sure there's a number on the website where you can call and schedule an appointment. And from there, move forward with how we can help not only youth, but adults, families, and couples. We look forward to serving not only Ewa Beach area, but all of Hawaii to make sure that families are healthy. There are values and principles that they follow that not only begin in the home, but also within the individual, and they can carry it out into the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Madonna. Again, as a former chair of the Kaneohe Neighborhood Board, I honor the work that you folks do on the boards. I really do. You folks don't get paid and you still have to show up. Okay. So what Madonna was sharing is what we have is what's called the Kamalama Group. The Kamalama Group is action and adult group sessions that we'll be doing with clients. And this is for helping parents get a better understanding of the things they're going through, and also to help them become better parents. Not that they need that part, but they can work with other parents and understand what they're going through, everybody else is going through too. The Lokahi group is the teenager group. The teenager group will meet there. It's from 14 to 18 years old, and they'll meet, and it's co-ed. And again, these are groups that are going to be like myself. I'm a licensed marriage family therapist, licensed mental health counselor. We're all licensed. We're all going to be professionally helping people. This is not something that we're just opening up doors to bring people in. We follow strict boundaries. We follow strict rules. We follow the DCCA. We follow HIPAA. We follow everything. And so for us, this is being able to help everyone in the Hawaii community, not just on Oahu, but all the islands, because we will also be doing Zoom teletherapy. So this is something that is brand new, something that's very different, something that will allow Halekipa to kind of let people know who are here, living here, that there is an organization that is local that will help support them. I worked for an organization. They were purchased by a mainland corporation, and they wiped out all of the sites and they turned it all into Zoom. And all of a sudden, all those clients who are actually seeing therapists, oh, well, that was it. So this gives Halekipa and the people of Hawaii an opportunity to help work with each other. And when they want to, again, it's therapy. It's optional with this. It's not mandated or anything as such. And again, I thank you for everything. And again, if we can chat before you leave, sir. Any questions? We're not looking for like a vote or up or down or anything. We just want to let you know that we exist. We're on Old Fort Weaver Road. I drive it every day. I love it. And we'll go from there.
Thank you so much for being here and the information. Any questions from the board?
Yes, sir.
John.
So, hi, John Rogers. I live in West Lock Fairways, and I think for the last 30 years, you've had a duplex, a house in our neighborhood And in the early days, it wasn't always perfect. But you guys were just brand new and still growing. But as of late, I think it's, do you still have a house? And is that the Holly
Actually,
Keep-
there are two shelters.
Yeah, two
So
shelters.
that's one for male, one for female.
Right. Okay.
And so the genders are separated. And then basically, if they don't go to school that day, they're actually taking courses on campus. So they're kept busy all the time. We have overnight staff. The parking is free. We have a humongous parking. When I just started with them in April 1st, I thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. So basically, when I drove there, I was impressed by, yeah, the road's a little tight, but at the same time, you have this wonderful gem hidden in this lush area of this place where children can find safety. And the shelters are there and they're full, just to let you know.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for what you do.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Any other questions from the board?
I just want to echo the other board members. Thank you for what you do. I became familiar with your mission in college about 20 years ago. I did a project for you guys that I'm sure was absolutely terrible, but I got to know your organization and kind of what your mission is, and I think that you guys do very important work. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Any questions from the public? In person or online? Johnny? Online?
Thank you, Chair. How many people do you have in the shelters? And what is the maximum? Thank you.
That information I can't give out.
Not even a number?
No.
I'm not asking names.
Oh, no,
Thank you.
I know. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, thank you guys again so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Good
it.
luck,
Thank
good
you
luck
so
with the
much.
work. We're gonna move on to C. So we have the Coconut Rhinoceros Beetle Community Resource Program. Presentations are 10 minutes. Please state your name and then go ahead.
All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Arissa Barcinas, and I'm with the Coconut Rhinoceros Beetle Response Program. So today I'm here. My presentation goes through the general information, identification, management of the invasive coconut rhinoceros beetle. But most importantly, I'm here to announce a program that we have now to be able to give out resources to homeowners in the community. And so this is a really important spot that has been dealing with CRB for a long time. And so now that we have these resources, I really wanted to get out here and finally give them out. I'm super excited about it. So I'll go through this pretty quickly in the interest of time. But for any of you who are not familiar, the coconut rhinoceros beetle is a beetle that is highly invasive here in Hawaii. And so in these photos, you see a photo of the adult beetle on the left and then the larvae on the right. And I also have some specimens in the back for later. So some of the primary food sources, their main hosts are going to be things like coconut palms, fan palms, the native lolu are very susceptible to CRB, date palms, and then some secondary hosts that the CRB can also feed on are things like challah, sugarcane, pandanus, lots of other palms as well. So this is a very damaging beetle, and it affects a lot of the crops that are used for cultural practices, a lot of really important plants and trees. Sorry. So here's the life cycle of the coconut rhinoceros beetle. It starts off as eggs and it goes through 3 different larval instars. It then pupates, then becomes an adult beetle. And understanding the life cycle is really important to figuring out how to manage CRB because of where they spend their time. So from the time that they're eggs until they become an adult, they're spending that time in green waste. So things like compost, mulch, really any decaying plant material, they can lay their eggs and develop. And so that's where we see really big populations of CRB are in areas where there's a lot of this material. As an adult is the only time that they're interacting mostly with the palm. And so that's when they actually need the host palms to feed and in order to lay productive eggs. So some of the damage, and a lot of you are probably familiar with what this damage looks like, but the coconut rhinoceros beetle, it feeds on the heart of the palm. So it tries to get in and feed on those the juices and sap inside. And so it leaves behind these very distinct 2-inch boreholes in the crown of the palm, as well as these V cuts. Damage to other hosts can look a little bit different, but those boreholes are really what you're going to be looking for in a lot of cases. And so here are some other photos of that. On the left, you have Hala, and you see those big boreholes. And on the right, you have Banana, and you can see that borehole more towards the bottom of the tree. So here is a recent map of detections on Oahu. And so as you can see, a lot of areas in West, North Shore are heavily infested areas and have really high beetle populations. And here's that map again. Almost all areas on Oahu have some level of CRB, but specifically places on the west side have had CRB the longest with really high populations. So for managing CRB, and I'll go through this really quickly and really focus on the tools that I have with me today. So for managing CRB, it takes multiple tiers of management. So first is prevention, reducing the amount of suitable host material for them. So if you have excess green waste that you can get rid of, that's going to be a good practice. There's also physical treatment. So things like physically searching through your green waste and treating it, or physically netting your palms, which I'll go over a little bit later. And then there's also biological treatment. So things like fungal pathogens and a virus. Right now, a lot of these biological treatments are not available for use in Hawaii, but there is some research going into a lot of these biocontrols that are being utilized in a lot of other places that deal with CRB as an invasive. And then lastly, you have chemical strategies. And so this includes things like systemic treatments to palms, as well as contact sprays. So some of the main things that will kill CRB, and I will move a little bit quicker, are going to be physically killing it. So crushing, chopping, whatever you got to do there. Heat treatment, it will also work. Temperatures over 115 degrees will kill CRB. So if you have a hot compost pile and you can get those temperatures up, that will kill CRB. There are chemicals that will kill CRB, and then also resource deprivation. So obviously we don't want the resource that is missing to be coconut trees. So for best management of CRB, the resource that you really are trying to limit for their development is that green waste. This is a big graph of all the different kinds of treatments that will work on CRB, and I'm not going to go over all of these things right now, but this is available online, and I do have the website up at the end if you want to take a closer look. And then also same thing for treatments of palms. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but I will have these available in the back and on our website. I'm going to go ahead and skip through this. So some of the things that we have available through this community resource program are traps. So these traps, you're probably familiar with them. You've probably seen them hanging up all around the island. They're these panel traps that utilize a pheromone lure to attract and trap CRB. So these can be used mostly for detection. They're not the best traps ever invented, but it can be helpful to remove some beetles from the environment. We have these available if people are interested in hanging one up at your property. Ideally, you're trying to, with these traps, catch them between their movement from breeding sites to palms. So that's really where these traps are effective. We also have nets available. And so this is something that's been used in a lot of other areas that have CRB. And so it really is just applying this gill net that will trap and entangle the beetles as they're entering the palms or the breeding sites. And so here are some photos of that. On the left, you have the net that goes in between the fronds, right where the beetle will bore in to feed. And so I have this net available. And then also on the right, for people who have compost bins or who have mulch piles that they're not able to get rid of or that they want to keep, applying a net over the top of it will also help to entangle beetles as they either go in to lay eggs or as they develop and come out. So these aren't going to be 100% catching all beetles, but it can help to at least reduce some of that damage. In addition to this, the program is also, we're offering some contact treatments, so insecticides that once it comes in contact with the beetle will die. That's more used for ornamental palms, so not for coconuts or palms where you're going to be eating anything off of it. But that is also something I don't have with me today, but we can get you signed up if that's something you're interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and end there. Again, I will stay till the end of tonight so that if anyone wants to come stop by on your way out and pick up some supplies to take home, I do have a bunch. Or if you just wanted to sign up, here's that QR code. If you're not wanting to take home supplies today, you can just sign up on our website or share this with your neighbors. And we are working to distribute to everyone in this interest list. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I want to trap, so leave me one before you go. Questions from the board? Mitch? Plowman?
Hi, this is becoming a much bigger problem in Eva Beach in the last year or two. You go to Pu'ulo Beach Park, look at the trees. It's really getting bad. We had traps in our yard. You guys used to come by and check them all the time. Then they disappeared, and we were told we couldn't have them anymore. I'm not going to ask that. Very interested in all the resources you've got. What I'm really curious about is there a plan? I'm not sure whether you're city and county or state, but is there a plan to treat at a large scale our parks and whatnot? These are ones that people aren't eating the coconuts on. So trimming them regularly is something that is already done. What consideration is being given to the treatments systemically for our large scale plantations and parks and stuff?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So our program, the CRB Response, we're actually a UH program. So I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't be able to answer on all the plans of the city. But I do know that the city has been treating some trees. And so I think what kind of our recommendation is, and I think what they're following, is treating the palms that have the best chance at survival. And so in a lot of cases, that's urban areas where there's not a lot of green waste available for them to breed. And so they have a lot harder time establishing. And so really the treatments work a lot better in those cases. But again, I'm not exactly sure of all the areas that they're planning to treat, but that's kind of what I know.
Thank you, thank you. Any additional questions from the board? Mitch, go ahead.
For that poison that you use for ornamentals, you said, how long does it last if you use it? Because, when you're growing a coconut, they're not going to fruit for 5 years or whatever, So by using it early so that, the beetles still whack the little ones up, now and let them grow, that's why my question is, will it affect the coconut if you want to eat it later down the line?
Yeah, so the two main types of treatments are the systemics. And so those go as injections or soil drenches, and those will be taken up through all parts of the tree. Those last a lot longer. Those are going to last up to a year, most effective probably at about 6 months, and then the effectiveness starts to decrease. For the contact treatments, those are not being injected into the palm. Those are really just sitting on the surface right in that crown area. So if it's applied right, it shouldn't even come in contact with fruits or flowers. But those last much, much shorter because they break down in the environment very quickly. So 3 months is kind of for one of the formulations that we know of is kind of on the longer side of that contact. The organic formulation that we have, much shorter. It breaks down and you would probably have to retreat once a week.
Oh. Thank you. Any questions from the community or online? Yeah, can you unshare so they can actually see you
Yes.
online? Thank you. Last question.
I came in at like halfway through your presentation, but I know you said coconuts. I mean, on the east side of in Waimanalo, my farm is, all the coconut trees are wiped out already. They attacking the royal palms, all the palm trees. But I heard that they're going to hit the bananas too. Oh my.
Yeah, so the bananas are a secondary, it's kind of lower on the tier list, but we have seen damage to bananas. So usually that's happening once the coconut palms become a limiting resource. So their favorite foods aren't available. They start to search for other things. And so that's when we've started to see damage to challah, banana, sugarcane in some cases as well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I think with that, we're going to go ahead and move on. So thanks again for the presentation. I do want to make a slight change to the agenda because I know we have a lot of people. I believe you guys are here for resident and community concerns. So we're going to go ahead and move that section up and move new business subsequent to that. So let's go ahead and move on. I saw some yawning in the crowd by some of the kids. So we want to get everyone home at a decent hour. So we're going to start with resident and community concerns and community announcements. So if you do have a concern and announcement, I'll ask that you step up to the mic and state your name and then state your concern. And please note that they're limited to one turn, 2 minutes per person. Thank you.
Can I go first? I just have an announcement.
Go ahead, John. But you can line up behind them if you like. There's no worries.
I wanted to make everyone aware of these QR codes. First, there's for, I know. Hey,
What's going on here? What's going on here, John?
Sorry. So first, there's for DPRs doing a survey, and I asked all of you go and the QR code is going to be back there. Use the QR code or go to their website and take this survey. It's very important for our parks, for the Parks Department to know how you feel about the parks. And I know, I was probably going to mention that. So that's going to be back on the back table, so you can just take a picture of the QR.
John, can you speak into that mic right there? We're filming the back of your head.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So the next one is the HNL alert, another QR code. So with the hurricane season,
Look right here.
with the hurricane season coming, please, this is a great thing. So your phone gets alerts whenever there's any kind of anything going on the island. If you don't have it on your phone, you should. And of course, the Honolulu 311. Please look that up. This is a great resource that if you walking around the neighborhood or anywhere and you see something wrong, you can go on the 311 app and actually report it. They have great pull down menus, and it makes it really simple for you to report problems, and it really helps the city do their work because they can't be everywhere all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. So I'm going to say actually for the next speaker, can I ask you to use that podium just because you're going to get better. Yeah, you're going to look better. Everyone can see you online and everything as well. And yeah, thank you so much. And just state your name and then state your concern.
Right. Hello, Kako. My name is Mano Santiago, and I just want to give a mahalo to the board and the representatives here tonight from our state and congressional offices, the county, the mayor's office, and from the Navy. I come on behalf of Kamahau Canoe Club and our Ohana, a Hawaiian outrigger canoe club at Air Course Point, and a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization racing with the Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association. We want to be clear at the start of this speech that we're not here to ask anyone to do anything here tonight. We're here to make you aware of our situation.
and ask whether we may follow up with each of your offices afterward. For 20 years, since 2006, our keiki, mokua, and kupuna have paddled together from the shorelines of Iroquois Point in the waters of Pu'uloa, which is known to be Navy federal land leased to a private operator. This is one of the most storied places on Oahu. It is home to the shark goddess of Ka'aupaho, who guarded these waters and in tradition established the law that no shark shall take a human life. There is an old saying, "Alahula Pu'uloa, he alahele na Ka'aupaho." Everywhere in Pu'uloa is a trail of Ka'aupaho. Our club's very name and logo honor her. When our children put a canoe in the water, they're paddling her trail. The practice and the place cannot be separated. Since 2014, the shorelines under our canoe hale eroded away. The original site is now gone. We're then forced to go and relocate inland. Then in 2025, an unmaintained tree fell into one of our canoes in the inland area. We did what any responsible group would then do. We asked about the damage and whether the site was then safe. That question was followed with an eviction notice due to our club's liability. In response, we secured additional property and liability insurance on our own. We tried to create a simple agreement with a memorandum of understanding so that the expectations of the agreement would be clear between all parties. But then again, the response was met with another eviction notice. So our ask here is that we would simply appreciate the chance to follow up with each of you tonight, to share the background and to see whether you'd be willing to help us with opening conversations amongst the Navy, the property manager, and our club before our eviction deadline in November. We're not looking to point fingers. We're looking for a way to keep a multi-generational Hawaiian cultural practice on the shores of which we lived for the past 20 years. Mahalo nui for hearing us. We can leave written materials with the board and anybody who requests it. But before I end this speech tonight, I'd like to end the same way we end every practice. Let's show the shakas tonight. O ka alona I kaika. Ai ka pu'uwai. Ka ma'ahu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those great words, and I really hope there's a solution to this issue. I don't. If there's comments from the board, go ahead, Mitch.
This is exactly where you got to say this stuff, because as being an advisory board, we can point you in a direction and we can help facilitate this with all the elected officials, the Navy, the Army, the Marines. You know, this is exactly, and for the young people out here that are coming here, so to show their support, this is exactly what you need to do or have to do. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yep. Thank you, Mitch. And I don't know, I think it'd be good as a board, you know, to take it upon us to try to write some type of resolution in support of this. I think it would be a great idea. I don't know if we can talk afterwards, if one of the board members would be willing to take that on, and we can show the ropes fairly straightforward. So I think that'd be a really good measure on our part. Yeah. Corey, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a couple questions if you wouldn't mind. On your sheet, you said we're grateful to the city and county for working with us on possible options. Did they give you, what kind of possible options they lay out for you?
So we have reached out to the city and county for a possible relocation in the case that we can't keep our spot currently. We are looking at Pu'uloa Beach Park. The issue with that area is that it's known to be really rough waters, right? And you can see here we have keiki and kupuna. And safety is of the utmost concern for our canoe club, right? Moving to Pu'uloa Beach Park would definitely be, you know, a solution for us, but it's, you know, safety in mind. We can't really put a lot of our younger keiki and kupuna in the boat, especially when there's rough waves, especially right now, right, with the south swells. Just one of those concerns for us. So right now where we're at, it's really calm waters. It's really easy to get in and out of that shore. And that's why we're fighting so hard to stay.
Have you guys reached out to the Navy at all? Whether they be willing to let you use any of their land, especially in similar areas?
Yeah, so we have talked to the Navy on a couple of occasions. but not specifically to this issue, mainly due to the fact that we haven't really gotten responses on previous issues that we had.
Well, if they're here later on, we can ask for you too.
For sure, yeah.
Hopefully do that one.
We
And
definitely
so
open.
just to be clear too, this is Blackstone, the one that's asking you guys to leave,
Well, directly it's Kapalina Beach Homes.
but.
Yes, yes, yes.
You support to can fish, but not can fish.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Yeah.
So just continue. I made the comment about the resolution and at least it's some support. I'd like to ask, is anyone on the board willing to work with the young man here that's given these awesome words to develop a resolution? Shane? That'd be fantastic. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So I think that'd be really good. Thank you again. Did
Chair?
we have some comments? I see you,
Just
Senator,
Chair,
looking like,
If it's possible, I'd like to ask you,
yep.
since this is possibly a solution with the Navy, if the Navy's here, could we ask them about this right now or
Yep.
can we wait?
Well, I was actually gonna ask that exactly, Corey. So why don't, since you already brought it up, before we go to you, Senator, we do have a Navy rep on the line. Are there any words that you can say to this situation or that you'd like to say at this point?
Hey, good evening, Chair, board members, and members of the community. What I could do is I could take this question back to the installation, and whatever answer they get to me, of course, I could shoot you an email, or I could present it at the board next month.
Yeah, any email or any updates you can provide, we greatly appreciate it, and we'll obviously share it here. So thank you for that.
And just to follow up, then it'd be beneficial to see, what you could do with their current location to work with. I mean, this is still the master agreement that recognizes the owner of this land and possible alternatives that you could do to help this community as well.
Thank you, Corey. Yep. Senator?
Since the Navy's online, should I see if somebody can answer my emails and Capelina answer my emails? Because not only this concern that is concerning our community, it's the water issue, electric issue, everything else. Because when you call Capelina, they tell the residents it's your guys' fault. When you call you guys say it's Capelina. You cannot be tugging with these guys. High water mark, we're gonna figure out whose jurisdiction it is. What if it is DLNR? Capelina do not own the beach. They do not. The Navy does not own the land. The land was given back to you guys because of Danny Noy's deal that he made in Congress to rob the Hawaiians from those homes. These are the things that people should be fighting for. What they're doing to this club is criminal. Criminal. Look at the emotion. So when I got this email, I'm very upset because I'm gonna tell you why. I've been trying for 2 months. I had my town hall meeting there, packed. Nobody from the Navy, nobody from Capelina. Excuse me. Person came represent the Navy, but he wasn't the guy that makes the calls. He wasn't the shot caller. He was gonna take back information. Been almost a month already. No information back. We don't want these back and forth games. And great that the neighborhood board is gonna make a resolution, but next month is too late. We need to act now. But these people, they gotta have a home. And there's that at home. If you listen to the historicalness, yeah, and I speak it to the Navy, so you guys can bring this back. Historicalness, that's our God-given right as Kanaka Maoli to have that area. Ever Beach Park, Pualoa? You know why nobody canoe over there anymore? Pualoa Canoe Club used to be there. You know why they're not there? Kids got hurt. Black eyes, broken arms, broke legs. Because it's a deep step and very, very, very rough. So again, thank you guys for taking up the initiative. But again, I'm gonna be working with these guys offline. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the Navy, Capelina, bring it out to you guys. You guys gotta step up and come and call my office to set up a meeting so I can share with these guys and the rest of the people living in there who is actually the jurisdiction. Because they're saying that the Navy sold it to Gray Star, Gray Stone, whatever the stone those guys are, said they sold it. They didn't sell it. You cannot sell land that don't belong to you. It was leased to you for 99 years. So you cannot sell it. It's all a fault, I'm sorry to say, maybe they hear or not, Hunt Development. That was the deal, board members. The Navy made a deal with Hunt and the state. Then take back that deal, so they had to owe Hunt $100 million. So they gave the lease to them. Then they sold the lease to these guys. They kept changing names of the owners, but the same management, same people, same problem. No response, no come out of the office. So just remember now, even though the name of the owners or whatever they call themselves, the leasees, whatever, same management. Pilau.
Thank you,
guys.
Senator. Thank you, Senator. Any additional resident community concerns? Go, Stan.
Hi, aloha. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Jolie Numasaki. I'm here with the Red Hill Registry. I'm a community engagement specialist. So a little bit about the Red Hill Registry. We were created after the 2021 jet fuel crisis that affected approximately 93,000 people where jet fuel was leaked into the water. So as a registry, we are trying to enroll people and collect health information because we don't know what happens when someone ingests jet fuel. So to that extent, as well, we are currently taking enrollees. So if anyone here was affected or knows someone that was affected, please encourage them to enroll in the registry. But we are also seeking community feedback in our enrollment process, the way we operate in the community. So I have little flyers here in the back that I left on the table. We have two forms that we accept, that we're kind of soliciting feedback. One is going to be focus groups, and the other is going to be a community survey. Both of these will be online, and I have a little QR code and a URL here that you can sign up with. I also left some of my contact information, little business cards in the back. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be here till the end of the meeting and you can ask me. But mahalo. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Any other community? Yep. Go ahead, step up to the mic, say your name and concern.
Hello, everybody. My name is Zakahi Reddy. I'm here on behalf of the JCHS Band Boosters. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization here to support the Campbell Band program. I just wanted to come out here, introduce myself, and let everybody know that the band is planning to go to a Bands of America regional competition up in Utah in November. I left some flyers and stuff in the back. We're looking for sponsorships, donations, and stuff like that. Anything to help us get up there and, yeah, funds so that we can do things up there for the kids. We're gonna be up there from November 3rd to November 8th, and then we also have a fundraiser at Raising Cane's this month. And I believe it's on, sorry, June 24th at the Raising Cane's in Kapolei between 10 a.m. to 11:45 p.m.
Thank you for that. Good luck out there. So with the fundraiser, is that something where we have to give a code, or it's just that whole day, a certain amount is being contributed?
They're usually good about it. Like anything that comes in, they'll, like the managers and stuff. We've had one there before, and they're just like, oh yeah, you know, everything is pretty much going there.
Excellent.
But there is a code on the flyers in the back.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck out there.
How many students in the band? Gotta let them know. You know, they're gonna say that's a lot of money, but tell them how much people, how much students.
So this year our band has increased to 150 students. It's a big number from the previous years, which is like 120. Unfortunately, not all 150 students is able to make it up there. We're looking at about maybe 110 maybe, but yeah, still a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of mouths to feed and stuff like that.
Good luck with that. Appreciate it. All right. Any additional comments? Go ahead, Senator.
Can you let the community know? I know you're giving this information, but can you let the board know and the community know what is your goals? What is the number? To have a number of how much money you're gonna need. Don't be shy, bro.
Yeah, straight up. Say it.
100,000, 90,000. Be straight up. Tell them.
What you need?
We're looking.
What a big number.
Okay, like about 100,000, you know, something like that.
What is it? What is it?
About 100,000. Yeah.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 110 kids up there for 100,000.
Well, we're looking to work with other bands up there and stuff like that, and do like potluck style and stuff. Maybe even go to like their houses and stuff like that. And
that's awesome. That's very achievable for that number of people. So good luck with
Thank
it. Did I see Mitch? You had a comment, and then
Just real quick, I want to just to bounce back on the Canoe Club. Not only try to get and the Navy's on the line too, but so when he takes that question back to his superiors to find out to renew is it a lease? rental, lease, what's happening for that area? Is it a lease?
Hold on, go ahead, help on the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. We don't pay a lease or anything right now. Right now we don't have a formal agreement with them, and that's why we try to create a formal agreement with them, as well as get our own insurance so that there's like no liability on our end. So right now we're pretty much just on the land.
Okay, because I know I think you guys built 3 more fences because the front gate always fall off into the ocean every time, you know?
Yeah, we normal fence here.
Yeah, yeah.
You wrote it
So-
away. Yeah.
So there's the kiawe trees on the other side. So if possible, can expand the club. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And with him on the line, not only just having the.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's what I just wanted to say because you're getting pushed back. Only so far you can go. But if you can, if we're talking to the Navy area and get that hope. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you. All right, so if we're done, thanks again for all the community announcement. It's great. That's like the core really of this meeting and the presentation. So I really appreciate all the comments there. We're gonna go ahead and move on. We're on to new business now. I'm gonna defer A to the very end of the meeting, and if I'll have time, we'll briefly discuss that, but it's not essential, so we're gonna move on. Then we're gonna try to read through these resolutions and hopefully vote on them. I do want to make a comment, Plowman, on, so what I'm planning to do on that is kind of everyone's seen it, right? And so hopefully, I know there are some new board members, so I'm just going to try to summarize and to talk about what it's going to do. You're welcome to do whatever you need. If you want to start reading it and just go through it, let's do it. Let's get cranking on it. So we'll start off with the first resolution, which is calling on the Federal Aviation Administration to treat noise abatement and community health as a core priorities in the Hawaii Airspace Modernization Project. Go ahead, Plowman.
Just lost my battery, so I don't have the document in front of me.
Here, I have.
But I'll summarize.
Do we? So,
How about now?
Shane, you want to put that?
Okay, the FAA is modernizing all their airspace. We did a presentation on this in February, a full 10-minute one. I'm not going to do that. I'll try to do it in about a minute or two. At the time, we gave the presentation, we read the resolution. The board at the time unanimously supported the resolution, but based on a technicality, we couldn't vote on it because the actual resolution was not on the agenda. The presentation was, but because of that, technically, we needed to have it on the agenda, and that therefore precluded us from having a vote to either pass it or not. But we did vote to support it, to allow, I guess is the best word, allow me to go present the same thing to the Makakilo Neighborhood Board, who then did pass a very similar resolution a couple of weeks later. Pearl City did the same. Basically what this is the FAA is modernizing lots of airspace nationwide, big overhaul in the Hawaii airspace. And so some of the things is that the approach corridors into Honolulu International were designed when this was all sugarcane fields there, and also way before we had more technical approach methods like RNAV and stuff. I won't explain any of that stuff, but you can do things much more creatively now with approaches than you could do back in the 70s when they were creating their initial approaches to Honolulu International over the cane fields. So now you got 120,000 people living out here on the ʻEwa Plain, and they're taking a look at everything. And what we did was we came up with a resolution that basically what this does is it asks the FAA to take into account noise abatement, new population disbursements, alignments and everything, and new technologies to try to have these approaches be less intrusive on the public, great numbers of the public. So it asks them to look at a bunch of different Things such as more approaches over the water to runway 4 right, taking the military flights, the fighter jets, bringing them more over the water, consolidating them into larger flights of, say, 4 jets instead of a bunch of flights of 1 coming through, and to just try to be creative. Also, it takes into account, it asks the FAA to formally compare the airspace that is protective of the aircraft over the ground where populations are, so such that nothing is supposed to penetrate into it. The problem is at Puuloa Range Training Facility, you've got a range that has a danger zone that goes up 2,500 feet. There's a big giant overlap of 2 airspaces that are supposed to be sacred. We're asking them to do a formal review of that and the mitigation procedures they've got in place.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Plowman. So I'll make a motion to adopt this resolution. I get a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Plowman. So I'll open it for discussion. Any discussion? All right, then we're going to go ahead and take a vote. Let's just do a, what is it called when you vote, everyone? A voice vote. So all those in favor? Aye.
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 All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the resolution passes unanimously. And then we're going to move on to the, good job with that, Mike. Thanks for continuing on that. That's really good. This second resolution, I think I presented it as well as a couple meetings ago. I did make some slight changes to this. So this was the whole idea of we have, you know, the Waikai and their new plans to do the luau that's going to bring in more traffic, that buses and, you know, 1,200 people per night for the luau's, as well as, you know, 200 workers per night, as well as just the whole area in general here in ʻEwa Beach, as we all know, has grown a ton, right? And so what I really, the shift I gave to the resolution is kind of that, is like focusing more on just the challenges and how many people we have here and the need to have an access to our community and through Huakalei and that whole area from the western side. But speaking with with Lisa from Huakalei, you know, she brought up a lot of things that were, the infrastructure on that side is just not ready for that. So I really tweaked this resolution to focus on asking the city and the state to really focus on improving that infrastructure on the western side of Huakalei, so that we can have a pass through that goes all the way and connects us over to White Plains and Kailaloa, and especially now with those lands being transferred over to the city, and or a large portion of that, and that whole area, just we need circulation. I know that's in the master plan, so this resolution is just to try to encourage and voice our opinion as a board that we want the infrastructure improvements so that we can have increased flow and access to that area. So that's the gist of it. Yeah. So I'm going to motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll second that.
Same thing. We'll do a voice vote. All those in favor? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Open for discussion. Thank you, Mitch.
Okay, for that entrance to Huakalei, I mean, Lisa brought up, you know, all the safety protocols and all that. Right now they're doing a permit for a temporary luau. To get a permanent luau later, you know, when everything start going. So right now it's gonna be roughly about 400 to 600 people going to the luau for the temporary one they get. Later on, if it's permanent, gonna be that 1,200 and going forward. I think they brought up a lot of concerns about, like what you're saying, on the Tripoli side, on the west side of it, with all the homeless and everything. You know, they play that whose property it is, moving them around, and you know, I just worry that if, I know this is later on down the line, this is just to strengthen that pass through. I would kind of tweak it to say more of an emergency exit right now until everything the development starts going, and then I just feel more comfortable if possible.
What I'll just add to that, I mean, the emergency and that need access is highlighted strongly in that resolution as well. So that definitely, and I think that was one of the big things, is try to take the onus off of, I think probably the first version was Waikai centric, and this is more like emergency, everything, right? And so I think that discussion with Lisa was productive in that sense and trying, but recognizing that that development, they're going to be bringing in buses at, I think around the plan is, 4 or 5 PM, which is right at rush hour for us. And so I'm not also going to not address that issue, right? It's going to come in, right? It's 20 buses coming in, let's say at that time.
And-
John,
Yeah, and the project for the 1,200, they're gonna plan on starting that 2029. So that's their goal with what I read in all the permitting. And they're saying that half the folks are gonna come by personal vehicle and half the folks are gonna come by bus. So that's 10, I don't even know what, 10 buses and then 600 cars or 300 cars. But the point is that that land goes right to the Kalailoa parklands. And so it's going to give Eva Beach a connection right to that park and all the parklands and, Kaila, the White Plains Beach, Nimitz Beach and all that, which right now it's a 6-mile drive. If you live in Eva Beach, you're driving 6 miles to get into White Plains or more, right? So this is, I think this is something that really we need to do at least by 2030.
yeah. And that's the whole, I gave that presentation. I know obviously the new board members weren't present for that, but that's the whole idea, right? And it's like that infrastructure needs to be improved. They need to clean it up and get it. And let's just try, we wouldn't, stress our urgency on that. I did want to say, I know there was a hand up from, I think it's Kau'i online. Did you have a comment?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So, aloha chair. My name is Ko'i Sorrell, a lifetime resident of Eva Beach, 96706. I'm involved in the community with Eva Pu'uloa Outrigger Canoe Club, Ho'akalei Cultural Foundation, Eva Pu'uloa Hawaiian Civic Club, and I'm the kumuhula for Na Malama Polynesian Dance Studio. I oppose this resolution. It's great for the future, but right now it's the Ho'akalei Vaikai is still private property, considered a construction zone. So some of you that know me, our canoe club does practice in there, and we're under construction zone. So we have a lot of rules and regulations to follow. Maybe looking in the future, but I don't think it's justified for the current.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
my statement.
Yep. Thank you for those comments. Appreciate it. Yep. Go ahead, Corey.
Who owns Tripoli Street?
Currently, it's owned by Ho'akalei. Excuse me. It's federal and city. Sorry. So part, I just want to go back to this resolution is that it's not clear. There are a lot of different things and it's not, we've investigated this hard. So the whole, what the resolution is asking, and this is going to take years and years. We're asking the city and the state and local landowners to work together to figure out jurisdiction, who owns what, so that things can start to get worked on so that at some point within the next 10 years, we could have access via that route. And so I think that addresses also Kau'i. I'm sorry if I'm
Well,
butchering your
Alex,
name.
so just, this is the reason why I asked.
Yep.
Just, I know this is just Manini, but when all the people you're asking for are state, there's nothing federal on your copies will be delivered to. Is there any people that on the federal level need to get this resolution as well?
Yeah, we should definitely have some federal. That can be added. So
Okay.
I can tweak that to ensure that we have some representatives there.
Nothing to stop you from afterwards giving it to them anyway, but yeah, still.
Yep. Cool. Any additional thoughts or comments? All right. So given that this would be, we would make the edit to that section, I will go ahead and make a motion that we adopt this resolution.
Oh, we already did that.
Oh yeah, we did that already. Thank you. All right. So if we're going to go ahead and do a voice vote. And so all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. All those opposed? I'm getting to that. All those opposed? 0. And any abstentions? Mitch, David, and Shane. David, sorry. Morris. Thank you. All right, the motion passes. All right, moving on. Where are we? Okay, moving on to the other monthly reports. So we're going to start with the Hunt Communities Update. Do we have anyone present? All right, Gentry Homes Update.
Yes. Hi, Chair.
Hey.
Yes. Hi, all. Good evening. I'm Sunny Rosario from Gentry. Two updates for this month. One for the Geiger Light update. So we resubmit after our some people from the board, DTS and Councilmember Tupolo's office met in February. We resubmitted back the plans addressing their comments in March. Unfortunately, right after we met, Ty had retired, so we're still waiting to hear back from DTS. Not quite sure who the new person is. And I do appreciate Councilmember Tupolo's office also followed up with an email to them. And our engineering team is also meeting tomorrow to see what other measures we can do. And then our second update is for Kulaka'i 2C. We had a Meet Your Builders, Meet Your Neighbors event for the first maybe like 50-ish homes. So we took them through like the site so they could see their lot and then the different phases of their home. So from like foundations to framing to finishes, just took them around so they could see like what's behind the home before they move in. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sunny. And thank you for setting up that meeting with Representative Tupola. Appreciate that. Any questions from the board? Mitch, go ahead.
Hi, Sonny. Hey, what was that answer for the Gentry? I heard you meeting, then the meeting, somebody retire, and then.
Yes, so we had met in February,
Okay.
myself, Councilmember Tupola, and then DTS, and then a few members of the board. What was agreed at that meeting was DTS agreed that they would, once we address their final comments, that they would like move it forward. But the person who was in charge of it ended up retiring at the end of February. So the handoff, we haven't heard back yet from the new person. So we have been reaching out and calling, but just awaiting them.
Because the last I remember was something about the electrical line got to go all the way to 4 Weaver Road. Yeah. So. Okay.
Yeah, so so electrical and then civil resubmitted plans.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and I was wondering about that too, because I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of road being dug up over there. So I was actually wondering if that was related to that. Do you know you don't know anything about that, Sunny, do you?
No, that wouldn't be us right now. Nothing has been approved from Citizen. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Online? Went online? Howie?
I believe she had her hand raised for the previous.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
I think so.
All right. Thank you, Sunny, so much. All right, moving
Thank you.
on. See, anyone from Haseko?
Aloha, good evening. Keola Fisher with Haseko. We don't have any report for June, but I'm here and available for any questions.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Any questions from the board? You got an easy one this month, apparently. Any questions from the community? All right. Well, thank you for showing up, and we definitely do have questions sometimes. So appreciate you being here, and hopefully that continue to happen. Moving on to DR Horton and Ho'opili updates. All right. Moving on. Government officials. We're going to start with the U.S. Marine Corps Base Hawaii duty officer. All right. No one. U.S. Navy duty officer.
Yeah, good evening, Chair, board members, and members of the community. Our ship tour program is still going strong. Next month, we have potentially 3 tours available. So if you have a group that's interested in taking a tour, just reach out to us. They typically are scheduled on Saturdays. I have seen them go on Thursdays, but typically it'll be Saturday starting at 0900. That's 9 a.m. They typically go about an hour and 45 minutes. And it's a great opportunity to go on an active duty ship, see what sailors do in real time while they're in port. And from my understanding, Melissa Rubio took a group and they had a good time. So don't hesitate to reach out for those. Our next white boat tour is scheduled for mid-August. If you have a group that's interested, right now we're looking at filling a slot, of 40 to 50 people. So if you're interested, reach out for that as well, and we'll get you signed up. Of course, our weekly newsletter, the Molelo, goes out every Wednesday. If you'd like to be added to that distribution, I'll be more than happy to get you added. That way you can receive that newsletter, which goes out every Wednesday. I'll be standing by for any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Yep. Go ahead, Corey. Corey, go ahead.
I just want to follow up with the question I had last time in the presentation that we had earlier. The HPD just said that they do notify the Navy when they find homeless on their property. And I'm curious to know what the Navy is doing. You guys did say that you'd get back to us this meeting. Just want to see if there's any update on that.
I appreciate that question. I was not at the previous meeting, and I'm not aware of this issue. However, I could get with the installation first thing in the morning, ask the question, and I can shoot back the email to chair or brief it at the next meeting, which will be July, right?
Yes.
Right.
Chair, can I follow up?
Yeah, go ahead.
So just, I would appreciate that. Also from the presentation we have today, I would really be interested to know what the Navy's agreement is with Blackstone and Capilano Homes.
Okay.
And what can be done to help this canoe club.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Corey. Agreed. Go ahead, Plowman.
Hi, Chief. Mike Plowman.
Hey, Mr. Plowman. Good to see you.
Any updates on that which we've requested monthly for about, I don't know, 13 months now?
What was the requested, Plowman, just to clarify?
I mean, I really need to say it? I will. Okay, so the Navy is taking all the bombs from Lualua and Waianae and the Army's bombs and putting it in the nav magazine and moving the roads because the blast zone. And we've been asking you repeatedly for an update on this project every month. In that last meeting, the representative you sent here asked if we would like a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we said yes, but it's really getting frustrating. And I mean, we've asked you monthly, every single meeting. Is there a reason why the Navy does not want to talk about this project?
So, Mr. Plowman, I appreciate the question. I understand your frustrations. I'm not the SME on that. All I can do is notify the installation. And I remember the last time that I spoke to you, I told you that they took notice. However, I can't sign up the installation for a brief. They are aware that you want this briefed. And now that you formally requested it, I can bring it up to them. However, I cannot brief on their behalf because I'm not the subject matter expert on that, on the subject. Would you referring to the Westlock magazine, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what I can do is I can notify the installation that they do want this brief. And I'm assuming this 10-minute brief, and you would like this brief as soon as possible. That I can do. Absolutely.
Can we specify that we would request a presentation at the next EVA neighborhood board meeting, and that it's multiple board members are requesting that, not just Plowman?
Good copy. I'll let them know.
Okay. Thank you for that. Moving on, U.S. Representative Ed Case.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you for that. So,
Do you, just a clarification, I know you guys don't have everything together, but do you guys have a military affair on the board?
we do, yes.
Yeah, so that would be my recommendation, because when you bring it to the board like this and other presentation, the community can engage. And I know he wants this because the community wants to know if Capilano, Capilano area, Westlock, what he's talking about, are they gonna close that road? And nobody's giving one answer, nobody from the Navy, nobody from Capilano, because if they're gonna close that road, we need to know why. Because they already have bombs there, always had. They're only gonna bring more bombs in a new sealed facility. But if they're gonna close that road, it's gonna cause a lot of problems, because already North Road is a substandard road. So again, I know you're very busy with the Navy and all that, but can you give me a call tomorrow, 808-864-4634? Because I want to talk to you offline about other stuff. But again, yeah.
Thank you, Senator, for that comment. I just wanted to comment on that. I think that it's a good idea to have them present at this meeting and do a military affairs. I think there's a dual thing that could happen there. So I think we should, because this is something we've been asking for a long time and it has very important implications for our community. So,
And just to clarify, the environmental assessment that was done several years ago to do this was they were going to first build a new road to cross from Geiger to North Road and then close the road.
Okay, so
Sure.
let's set up. Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
Senator, for 1 second. You earlier said that you did try to talk to the Navy.
Yes.
To find someone to be able to talk to you about this one. I mean, Blackstone is not all powerful. They have to answer the Navy. It is a lease. So would you please tell us who you've tried to contact and who you'd like to contact potentially at the Navy so that we can find resolution?
So the Navy representation is the one that comes over here and he always takes it back. He came to the meeting. He didn't have answers. He came out of respect for the community, but honestly, he wasn't the person. Again, he wasn't the subject matter person. So that's the issue. So they did come and the Marines came. The only one didn't come was Capelina and somebody from Gray Star, whatever. But I talked to their so-called, I guess they have an attorney that called me before when I had issues on the property. His name is Mike Iosua. He contacted me before when they was trying to put a restraining order on me not to come on the property because of the Red Hill water situation, because they didn't want me to go to the homes and investigate. And they found out that they couldn't keep me off the property because technically, even though the Navy owns it or so-called own it, it's still yet a deal that they did with the state. So that's the part. Jurisdiction, Corey, is very hard to get an answer because they keep pointing fingers. Unless they all sit at the table, we're not going to get a true answer.
I totally agree. So I want to support you on this matter and make a request to the Navy that we get a meeting with blank in order to resolve this issue. So the question is, how can we support you? Who do we want to talk to in the Navy so we can get the people in the room to get this thing?
So thank you, Corey. I would ask that you guys continue this conversation
what I'm gonna do-
after the meeting.
Yeah.
And then even if we do the
Just to let you
military.
know, what I'll do is I'll give it to the commission, the numbers that I have, the emails that I have, and then you guys do due diligence.
And
Whatever
con-
contacts
and
I
you guys
got,
can be in contact.
I'll send it to you guys and you guys can make the phone calls because more phone calls helps more to help me getting this thing done.
Excellent. Thank you,
Thank you.
Senator. Okay, moving on. Go ahead, David.
One quick comment for Chief Jane. If you can't get that set up for this meeting, can you provide us the name and contact information for the SME so that we can follow up? Thank you.
Just want to confirm you received that comment.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, moving on. U.S. Army duty officer. All right, moving on to U.S. Representative Ed Case, quarterly report. All right, moving on to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative. Okay, how? You.
Aloha, good evening. Mayor's Rep Kehaupuu from the Department of Parks and Recreation. Just a few announcements before I respond to last month's issues. One, the Mayor's Office of Climate Change, Sustainability and Resiliency has released a draft of the first ever Oahu Food Systems Plan, a strategic implementation focused action plan that defines the city's role in Oahu's food system over the next 5 years. It outlines a lot of actions the city can take to improve how food is produced, distributed, accessed, and disposed of while supporting the health of our communities, economy, and environment. Please share your mana'o by the end of this month, June 30th. You can go online to review the draft plan. resilientoahu.org/food systems plan, or Google it. Some highlights from this month's mayor's newsletter. One, Honolulu Police Chief. A new police chief has been named, David Lazar. We also said goodbye, ahui ho, to Managing Director Mike Formby. Our Deputy Managing Director is our new Deputy Managing Director Designate, Krishna Jayaram. And the city is offering innovative microloans to local small businesses. So I believe there's a copy of the mayor's newsletter behind here, and you can also, again, Google or look online for a copy. Sorry about that. Okay, so follow up from last month's concerns. One was fire hazard and smoke concerns. A resident and member Rosenlee reported homeless individuals burning trash, causing smoke and health issues behind Westlock Fairways bike path area. Can the city coordinate with the state and the Navy in cleaning the brush to mitigate fire risk? Response is that this is not city and county of Honolulu jurisdiction, and this concern should be reported to the federal government or state of Hawaii to be addressed. Next concern that was raised last month, Representative David Alcos raised concerns about parking shortages at the West Oahu Skyline Station parking and station parking at the Keoneai UH West Oahu Station. And are there any plans to add more parking? Hart's response, thank you for the question. Yes, there are additional park and ride facilities planned to be built at the East Kapolei Station. That includes about 900 parking stalls, and at the UH West Oahu Station, which would include another 1,100 parking stalls. Hart anticipates beginning the solicitation of those contracts by the end of this year, with completion by or before 2031. And finally, Rep. Alcos requested to replenish the dirt for the 3 baseball fields at Eva Beach Community Park and at Pu'uloa District Park. This is my department. So work has begun at Pu'uloa District Park and is anticipated to be complete by the end of this month. I believe they actually just started work on the park today. And I know that they are putting a work request for skinning of the diamonds at Eva Beach Community Park. And then I did receive a request to support a community field restoration, I guess, at these parks by Rep. Alcos. And so I will be following up with him tomorrow. That's all I have. for
Awesome.
this
Thank
month.
you, Kehao. And thank you again for people that are here in person. Appreciate it. Any questions from the board? But John Rogers, and then we'll go with Bowman.
Hi, Cal. Thank you so much. I think I'm thanking the right person. But the gate that I've been going on for 2 years, 5 years, 6 years is locked at behind Westlock Fairways that aligns with the bike path. So that is fantastic, and it's been locked. I've going back and forth. I've been traveling a lot. Before I left, it was locked, and then I came back, and sure enough, it's still locked. Had a question. So thank you. I'll come back. Go ahead.
Okay, Plowman.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for being here, Mike Plowman. I don't know if you were here to hear everything the coconut rhino beetle folks
I did make
presented.
it in, yes. So
Did you
asked a
happen to hear
question
my
about what we're
question
doing.
about parks and our trees in the parks?
So as I forget the Wahine shared from UH, she was correct in that so it's resource and labor intensive to really save these trees. So we are treating the ones that have the best chance to survive. That said, we have lost a lot of trees, especially out on the west side, and that we're not able to save. But across the island, we've been working at our botanical gardens, at lots of our parks, and it's not just our coconut trees, even at some of our botanical gardens, it's our palm trees and stuff. So there have been efforts, but the treatments some of them are very, again, resource and labor intensive. But that's what we've been doing, trying to save the ones that we think we can save. We've lost a lot of trees, as I've said, and in our planting efforts, right? So that's one of the initiatives of the Department of Parks under urban forestry. So we're doing a lot of tree planting, but I'll be very honest in saying we are not planting coconut trees because of CRB and, zero chance of survival practically.
Thank you, Gail. Any additional comment? Just time check. We have just over half an hour, right? So we're getting close, but I just want everyone to be aware. Corey, I think you had a question or comment.
I think there was a combination of 2 separate problems and the issues I brought
Westlock
to
one.
the Westlock one. Because one is Kapapapui Park, that is city and county.
Yes.
That brush is city and county. That was taken care of by the city and county a year and a half ago. That hasn't been redone since. And the Navy one is separate. So I understand the Navy one is not your issue, but the one for Kapapapui is. So, okay. If we could resolve that one for the next meeting, I'd appreciate it.
Thank
Okay.
you, Cora.
And I
Don
see
Rogers?
it on our list. All right.
Sure, I just have one, my question the Parks Department just gave Eva Beach its first exceptional tree on Renton Road. And I'm just wondering, are we gonna have a little bit of a celebration for that since it's Eva Beach's first exceptional tree? I've asked my council member and I don't know if he's gonna be here later, but I'm hoping that we at least have a little something to mark that tree, maybe even a plaque, because it is #1 in Eva Beach. So, and Eva, thanks.
Thank you.
And then I had a quick question or a request, just a super brief update, maybe. I know we had some exchanges on this, but just for the community on the status of the comfort station at Oneole Beach Park. So those plans had been put in to design. Can you give us an update on that?
Yes, let me see. So I think we completed the design. We had to make some modifications that included like removing a tree because of the setback. So I'm not, so those are done. I gotta check with, I think they're gonna get bid out. But you know what? Don't quote me on that. Let me get an update from DDC.
Okay, and then if you could, on the update too, and it's also the status of CIP funding and where that is. I believe we have it, or it's good for another year, but if you could, I'll follow up with you as well, but thank you. Yeah.
Well, no, actually, it was in our fiscal year 27 CIP request. So, and that was approved. Our budget
And that was request for what?
might have been construction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Construction.
Go ahead, Mike.
Are any cocoa palm trees in Eva Beach being treated?
I don't believe so, but yeah, I should verify with our urban forestry gang.
We'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions from the community? Okay, thank you, KL. Moving on. We are with Councilmember District 1, Councilmember Andrea Topola.
Good evening, Chair. I'm online. Kiko Topeni here, the community liaison. I am so sorry for the noise. To be fully transparent, I'm on the train. I'm on my way home.
We can't tell. You sound perfect.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I have nothing to report, but I would just like to invite everyone again to the upcoming cleanup week with Rep Alcos. It will be at Coral Sea Road this Saturday from 8 to 12. And he had connected with Lee Kobayan, the racers there in the area, the city area. And it'll be on Coral Sea from 8 to 12 this Saturday.
What is the event? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
It's community cleanup.
Thank you. Okay.
That's it. That's all I have to report, and then I'm open for any questions.
Excellent. Any questions from the community? From the board? From the community? All right, moving on. Thank you so much. Board of Water Supply. Department. Oh, there we go. Thank you, sir.
Aloha Chair, board members in the community. My name is Keone Matos. I'm with the Board of Water Supply. I was here last month, but I'm your new rep since my supervisor, Kathleen Pahinui, just asked that I attend these meetings moving forward. I'm an Eva Beach resident, so I do look forward to working with all of you. For our report this month, there was 2 main breaks in the month of May. They both happened on the same day. 12-inch main break at 91-183 Eva Beach Road, and also May 31st, an 8-inch main break at 91-201 Fort Weaver Road. For our announcement this month, we are talking about our water quality report. If you're a Board of Water Supply customer, you're very familiar with this, that each year the Board of Water Supply conducts thousands of tests on our water system, our sources and distribution system to ensure that the water we serve exceeds or meets all federal and state drinking water standards. Those results are shared in a water quality report semi-annually. The first report was mailed to all customers by July 1st. Second one will be sent out in December. So if you are a customer, we do mail it out to you. But if you want to access that online, it's available at boardofwatersupply.com. So even if you're a tenant and you don't get a bill and you're just curious to what your water quality bill is, what your water quality report is, you can go online again. That's boardofwatersupply.com/WQR. On that website, there's additional water quality information, including a new large print booklet that describes the origin of your water and any substances listed in your report. If you have questions, you can call 808-748-5041. I answered that phone line. There was a follow-up question from last month. Tara Rojas had asked about the status of the ʻEwa Watershed Management Plan and if that plan would incorporate data from the ongoing Kailua Master Plan. So the ʻEwa Watershed Management Plan is currently on hold until the contract is reprocured later this year. Meanwhile, there's a public review draft available at our website, boardofwatersupply.com. If you just search ʻEwa Watershed, it's the first result. So you can check out that public review draft. The ʻEwa, and just to confirm her question, yes, the ʻEwa Watershed Management Plan will include the Kailua Master Plan findings. That concludes my report. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you. I want to recognize the quick response to those main breaks and having water available for us. That was really appreciated. Any questions from the board? Questions from the community? Moving on. Thank you so much for that report.
Thank you.
All right, Department of Education, any representative? Okay, moving on. Governor Josh Green's representative, Tara. All right, Hawaii Department of Transportation. All right, Senate District 19, Senator Rachel Lamasoa. Senate District 20, Senator Kurt Favela. Thank you, Kurt, for always being here as well and speaking up. Appreciate it.
I'm not doing them because it's election season. I'm always here.
It's true.
Anyway, we had a lengthy and numerous town hall meetings, so I'm just going to touch upon them. And again, I want to congratulate, class of 2026 graduates. I got to go to Ilima Intermediate, Puakea's, sixth grade event, and then I got to go to James Campbell High School, huge graduation that they had. Some of the stuff I'm talking about is the one that, again, at Capilina, we had a town hall meeting about the electric again, the water quality, and some of the issues that they're having with mold and other things, health concerns, but we didn't have any representation from there. And then we had also, again, we had a town hall meeting, talk about the budget. That was a great meeting. Maybe it wasn't well attended. I want to thank Principal Shane Greeley for hosting it. But the people that went there, community members that showed up, they was very, very satisfied in how the budget is put together and how the money is spent. So a lot of people didn't know a lot of stuff. So they learned a lot that night. And then the other one I had joined, it was Councilman Augie T's sewer cesspool conversion. The concern was at that time, Roger, he's going to come back. I'm going to have a town hall meeting July 15th to go over the recap on this cesspool conversions, because sadly he didn't have the subject matter people, so he couldn't answer the questions that needed to be answered with the planning and design and why ʻEwa Beach. When I talked to I talked to Ernie Lau and I talked to the Department of Health. What they tell in the community, our community, that the cesspools has to be taken out and converted is because it's going to hurt our water. There's no scientific data that it's going to hurt our ocean water. One, water quality for drinking water, zero. That's what I got from the Department of Health. So again, why they're doing it? Because we have a sewer treatment plant here. It's flat ground and it's easier to do. They don't want to do North Shore. They don't want to do Papakolea. They don't want to do Waimanalo and Kailua because those areas don't have a sewer treatment plant. So what I try to recommend, and we're going to change the law, try to change the law this year on the people that have septic tank. Community members, as you guys know this is important. You pay $40,000 to $70,000 for a new septic tank. When the sewer line goes in, you have to tie in. But they're gonna give you 25 years of discount from the sewer fees. That is not fair. They should do better at the city, and I talked to Andrea and I talked to Augie. They need to make a resolution to exempt those guys who did the investment on why they had to do cesspool conversion, the septic tank. Reason for that, one of the questions that Roger couldn't answer, that I'll end up answering for the community because of course, again, I live here all my life, so I know. Reason why people have to put in septic tanks when they do construction. Those houses are single family homes, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, not even 2 showers or whatever. The ones that have, they have different ways of their sewer. So if they have 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3 shower, whatever, it's gonna add to the cesspool, which is gonna end up overflowing. So that's the reason why if you wanna build in ʻEwa Estates, that's the area over there, because Leeward Estates, we already put in the sewer line, we already have sewer. But ʻEwa Estates, people over there is aging, and the new ones that came in, put in the septic tank, they shouldn't be penalized. That is very crucial. So that's the reason why I'm having a follow-up town hall for that area, ʻEwa Estates, because they need to know and get the answers on how we need to do as legislators to change the state law that recommended, it was a good idea, don't get me wrong, I wasn't there. It was a good idea that the state said, hey, we gotta get rid of cesspools. But nobody really would think it through because we don't have the money, we don't have the funding. And guess what? Let's just say right now, I don't tie in. I don't get a fine because in the bill and the law doesn't say they're gonna adjust fines. So again, if I don't want to tie in, I don't tie in. There is no bite to the bill. So again, we're wasting taxpayers' money, multi-million dollars to put in this in. And if you cannot put it in, you cannot afford to put it in, even the laterals, okay, the tie-ins. City said they're gonna put in the laterals, fill up your cesspool, yeah, all that is great. But guess what happens? The homeowner has to give up their easement. How much homeowners are gonna give up their easement? They're not. Because if you wanna extend your driveway, you wanna extend your house, you have to be 15 feet from the easement. So those are very critical concerns, and I'm sorry I'm long-winded, but again, I'm Portuguese, don't fault me. But if you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer it.
Thank you, Senator. Any questions from the board? Questions from the community? Okay, go ahead, Mitch.
Sorry, Senator. Sorry, I came in late. Weed and seed. I know they had the annual golf tournament. I know it's one of their that's what they used to try fill their coffers, or I know it's still not enough. But what can a community do, or what can we do as a board to help keep weed and seed here in that word is perpetuity, just forever. You know what I mean? Like, what can we do?
Well, when we started Weed and Seed a long time ago, board member Mitchell, we was trying to get the city to have the city at that time, I think it was Mayor Hanneman or Harris. We wanted to have them to incorporate that as one of the city money to come in because of the success rate of Weed and Seed. Sadly to say that never transpired. So every year the state in grants and aids, we do fund it. But what the community can do and what Weed and Seed can do, you gotta let the community know, if we don't fund the program, we're gonna lose it. So people that don't know how great this program is, this is how we got the major drug infestation out of our community. Game rooms, everything, because we had the strong presence of Weed and Seed. We weed out the bad, plant the good, stuff that they do at the culinary classes and the fishing and all that. So it's a great community relations with HPD to show the working mechanism that community, us, is the eyes and ears of HPD. But how we can support them is basically figure out how Gil or Weed and Seed can put it up there to donate. Put a QR code out there. If you want to donate to Weed and Seed, because they're a 501c3, put it out there on their flyers, on their mail outs, whatever. Put a QR code. If you want to donate to them, you can. And that would be some way that we can help the program.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
Yep. Have a good one. Okay, moving on. Senate District 21, Senator Mike Gabbard.
Yes, aloha board and community members. I'm Melanie June, Senator Gabbard's community liaison. Senator's June newsletter is now available with updates on community projects and his recent work in West Oahu. And I'll be sure to drop that link into the chat. And I'd also like to invite everyone to Senator Gabbard's next Listen Story community meeting. That'll be on Saturday, June 27th from 9 to 10 a.m. at Kapolei High School Teachers Lounge. This month's guest speaker will be Stephen Maduli Williams, Senior Economic Development Manager with Amazon, and he'll provide an update on the proposed Kapolei Amazon Fulfillment Center and answer community questions. And there's a Zoom option also available for those of you that can't make it in person. You can just email our office to RSVP. And as always, please feel free to contact our office if we can help you in any way. And with that, I'll take any questions back to the Senator.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Questions from the community? Okay, thank you very much for that report. Appreciate it. Moving on, Representative District 39, Representative Elijah Perrick. Representative District 40, Representative Julie Reyes Oda. Representative District 41, Representative David Alcos. And Representative District 42, Diamond Garcia. Wow. Well, that got us through this quick. All right, moving on to committee reports. Parks, we don't have anything as far as I know. Do you have something, John? Okay, moving on. Education. Transportation. Nothing. We'll have some updates next month for sure. What about OMPO? You got anything?
I attended the last meeting. There's not a lot of stuff that. I attended the meeting in May. It's June, right? No, I attended the meeting in June. They didn't have a meeting in May, and there's not any. The presentation didn't involve Eva Beach.
Thank you for that. Public safety, community outreach, homeless outreach. Community report, economic development. Climate change. Hawaiian affairs. Military affairs. No, yeah, so I did before. I'm going to go to something that briefly, we do have a few more minutes. So I prepared this a little bit more before. I'm going to do this super brief, but I just wanted to hand this down. I think that as many of you know, maybe not the new folks, but that were some email exchanges earlier this year involving former Chair Clark that raised questions about officer authority and kind of board member roles and sunshine law considerations. And so since Chair Clark, he resigned from the board, I don't really think it's necessary to revisit those exchanges in a lot of detail, but I do think those exchanges highlight the importance of making sure that we're all operating from the same understanding of what the neighborhood plan actually says as far as our different roles. And right, so that's what this handout is. I'm not going to go through it. It just contains several provisions that I think are particularly relevant to these themes. And first I want to make it clear that the neighborhood plan makes clear that the board acts collectively in carrying out its responsibilities and representing the interests of the community. And second, that each board member represents the entire district and participates in the board's advisory role. And so each member has equal standing as a board member and represents the entire district. And so third is, officers such as myself right now as the vice chair and as acting chair currently, we might have important responsibilities, but those responsibilities are really specifically defined in the neighborhood plan. And so the one point I really want to, I think is really important is the chair's authority is largely procedural and centered on managing board proceedings and conducting board business during the actual meetings. And the neighborhood plan really, points this out. The majority of the responsibilities occur in connection with board meetings and board proceedings, right? So in other words, the chair definitely has authority, but it's primarily within the context of board proceedings. And so it does not establish any kind of supervisory relationship, right? As a chair, I'm not a supervisor of anyone else on this committee. So I think it's important, especially with new members, that we all understand that we're, in that sense, we're all equal board members. And so, and I'm just going to wrap this up. There was an email that was circulated, and there was it was referred to as a formal directive being issued to another board member, and I just want to clarify, there is nothing in the plan that authorizes the chair to issue any kind of binding directives. And similarly, you know, if there's that it was in that email was asserted that there was a sunshine law violation. And I just want to be clear that sunshine law compliance is governed by state law and OIP, which is the Office of Informational Practice. So like the plan doesn't authorize an individual to do that. So if we have an issue with that, or we think something is violating, then we would, as a member, say, hey, I have a concern about this. I don't think we should be talking about this, and we bring it, but we don't just throw people under the bus in that sense of you know, yeah. So it's, and really, I just wanted to kind of clear the air on that we're all equal in the sense of we're board members, and you can, as a chair, I cannot out of the email also said like these comments will not be recognized. We don't have the role to do that, and the plan very clearly states that that's not a role. So anyway, that my primary goal is not to like revisit old grievances, although that's what it stemmed from, but it's also, I think, important for us to all understand that we're all equal, and that the chair is here to facilitate things, but not to be your boss or your supervisor. So that's all I want to say. And we're all volunteers as well. Anyway, so I know that, so Plowman was asking, so we had a working group meeting about the Pu'uloa Range Training Facility. So I'm just going to use this for a couple of minutes to say, at that meeting happened a couple weeks ago. We did discuss, basically, there were Kuleana Coral had done a bunch of testing of fish, or collecting samples of fish and limu all in front of the range and down in stratification layers from the range. Those results still aren't available, and they were collected a couple of years ago. And so there was a meeting held, not in the working group, but to see about why those results are being delayed. And so hopefully by the next board meeting, we'll have some updated results on what's actually happening there to see if there is lead in those fish. And that doesn't necessarily implicate the PRTF, but it is something very important. The other thing that is for the next working group meeting is to actually have recommendations by the working group in a letter. I was actually the one primarily pushing this, because I feel like, you know, in all reality, if some members of the working group would just love to just keep kicking things down the curb, so that in 2 years from now, the working group ends and nothing happens, right? And so I think it's very important, you know, DOH has voiced their need and their perspective on additional testing being needed. The Marines' response has largely been, well, we've done what we need to do inside the range and we're not required to do anything. And so that's an issue. Hopefully through the working group, we can get some actual recommendations from the group that can then be leveraged in letters to DOD, you know, representatives hopefully can jump on board and things of that nature. So I don't, you know, I know, you know, Plowman, I think I give you a brief update. I think that's good for now. And as we get, hopefully by the next working group meeting, which is in scheduled, there's not a particular date, but in August, we'll have some of those concrete, you know, recommendations that we can bring, but that might be optimistic. So we'll see, but that's what I got for that. All right. I think we're done here. Next regular meeting is scheduled for Thursday, July 9th, 2026 at 7:00, virtually via WebEx and in person at the ʻEwa Beach Public Library. And regular board meetings are broadcast every first Sunday at 6 p.m. and every second and fourth Friday at 10 a.m. on Alolo Digital Channel 49. And with that, we conclude today's meeting. Thank you, everyone.